welcome to another Sovereign Citizen stream. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good one. I just got out of work a little bit ago. I actually got out early, which worked out because I get to stream and not be quite as tired, so that's nice. We have all sorts of fun Sovereign Citizen stuff to take a look at today, and I'm very excited to show it to you. Phoenix Leftist, thanks for a 30 stream streak. Halloween Town, good to have you back. Sorry to hear about your pup. Bubble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub to Halloween Town. Hello everyone on YouTube, how's it going? If you could do me a favor and like the stream, as Delete Laws would say, just do a double tap. Just do a double tap. Do a double tap. Thing is, he'd also call you Playboy, and I promise I won't do that. In return, hit the like button. So welcome everyone. Oh, we've got some stuff to take a look at today. Before we get into it, I guess I have some housekeeping. If you want to help support the stream, become a subscriber or perhaps gift subs. I know we're not going to make the sub goal this month, but you know, fill it up as much as possible. That'd be cool. We are pretty far in the tip goal. We're less than half of the, or more than half of the way there to the edited content, so that's cool beans. And that's about it. Also, I do believe this upcoming... I'm thinking this upcoming Sunday is probably going to be the patron-only live show, because I said Saturday initially, but then I realized, A, I have D&D that evening, and I have someone's, like, bridal shower to go to earlier in the day, so there probably won't be a regular stream Sunday, but there will be a Patreon stream. Alright, cool beans. Hey Trey, how's it going? 61 months says almost another sub, baby. 2 months away. 2 months? Can I turn my volume up? I mean, I'm already to the point where it says I'm almost peaking. I'm literally in the yellow when I'm just talking like normal. Did you just turn up your volume? Because, like, I'm definitely louder than the music. Humble Homestead, thanks for a 7 stream streak, says I've been watching too much Dugadoo. Why does it make my brain happy? Because it's simple. And life would be nice if it was simple. It's a Doctor Who thing, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. Alright. So, let's just jump into it, shall we? I guess, where are we gonna start? We'll find out. FipAJZ, thanks for the 5 stream streak. Alright, let's give this one a try. I couldn't find the actual source video for this, so I am watching clips from Van Balion's channel. I am gonna, of course, skip through the commentary from Van Balion, though, because I couldn't find the video, unfortunately. Get into it.
Yep.
You can tell they probably pulled him over for his rear, for his blinker lights or his back lights, because, I don't know if you guys know this, but when your blinker light's out, it clicks vigorously instead of the steady click, click, click. It goes like click, 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 click. You can hear it.
Yep. Exactly. Pulled me over.
Oh, Tina, thank you so much for the raid. Perfect timing, too. We just got started. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Hannah. I look at all sorts of weird conspiracy theorists and theories across the internet. Today we're covering Sovereign Citizens, a group of pseudo-legal scholars who believe that everything is a contract and that they don't need driver's licenses if they just say the right words. If you haven't already, make sure you check out Tina, too, here on Twitch. Can we get a shout-out for Tina, please? Hope you had a good stream. Consonant J, thanks for 24 months, says, woo! Happy 2nd anniversary.
Not for hire. I'm not using the roads for any public gains.
It doesn't matter. You're operating a motor vehicle on public roadways, you know, where people are. Just want to make sure that you're capable so you don't hit people and kill them with the multi-ton death machine you're piloting.
You're not into replacing bulbs either from the...
Why so Dankness says, I'm not traveling, or rather, I'm not traveling, I'm chatting. That's not illegal. You don't need a license for that.
Sound of that indicator.
Say it again?
What did he say? Oh, he tells him to pull forward because, yeah, okay.
He's telling me to pull down closer to the ramp because he don't got space. Oh. This window right here doesn't roll down. Stop.
I wish I could see the outside of the car. Like, I'm curious if he's making an innocent mistake or if genuinely where he's trying to pull over makes no sense. Because again, he doesn't have a driver's license. So, like, I don't know if he ever passed a test. Like, he might legitimately just be a terrible driver and not know where it's safe to pull over.
Telling me to move up a little bit.
If you follow my channel, does that mean we are contracted? Yes, it does. And you have to do everything I say. Like the stream. You're not on YouTube, so that doesn't count. Well, you don't have to physically like it, but emotionally I hope you like the stream. I mean, I demand it. I demand you like the stream emotionally.
You turn it off.
Raven Ghost 5, thanks for
It
following.
doesn't work?
No, this window doesn't roll down.
You want to unlock it?
Why?
Unlock the door
4?
so I can talk to you.
I can speak to you. Come this way. If not, I can just pull into the...
Do me a favor, just unlock.
I'm genuinely wondering, can an officer, like I understand that if they have probable cause, they can ask you to open the door, but this is literally a case where he just wants to talk to him. He's not claiming as probable cause to, like, open his car. Is he allowed to just tell him, hey, open your door? I'm not a lawyer, I don't know.
The door properly.
Either way, the guy's, you know, breaking the law. Just curious about that particular request by the officer.
Talk to you.
I'm not gonna open my door.
Okay, then let me get your driver's license.
I'm not using the road as any commercial capacity.
Look, dude, I'm not gonna argue.
I'm not arguing with you either. I'm letting you know I am not.
I'm letting you know, okay? You are driving on a Connecticut road, okay? I need to have your driver's license.
That means I'm not for hire. I'm not using a...
So I have a flag with gold fringe. I carry my gold fringe with me, actually, so if I find a flag, I can establish my own jurisdiction wherever I go. It's got magnets on it, I just magnet it to the flag. That okay with the flag code? Magnets? Probably not. I didn't write the code. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
roads for any commercial capacity. I'm letting you know.
Listen, I understand.
I'm recording as well, just to let you know. My hands are up.
You have no problem with that, okay? But what I need you to do, you're operating a motor vehicle.
I'm traveling, sir.
You're literally behind the wheel of
Whoa!
and in.
Moving?
I am traveling.
Is the vehicle moving?
Anything to give me emotion,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So when you're operating or vehicles in motion on a Connecticut road, or
It never ceases to amaze me having to explain to a grown adult that they are driving a car while they are driving a car. Lucas Dawn with a 200 stream streak says 200, let's go. Wow, that's a fifth of a way to 1,000. Isn't math interesting?
US DOT highway, it is a requirement that the vehicle be registered and insured, and when you're stopped, to identify yourself. It is a requirement under the state of Connecticut laws.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, I'm not using the
in
road.
our state, you're on our road. Whether you're traveling or not,
It's your state?
The state of Connecticut. I represent the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
I'm the agent of the government.
Okay.
You're traveling on our road.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a state government-owned road.
Mm-hmm.
The law is, if you are on our road, a state-owned road, you have to identify yourself if you're stopped by a police officer.
Okay, got it.
Have you got it though? Because law.
Okay.
And
so I'm asking you to identify yourself by providing me with an identification card.
I can provide you with my name.
I need you to provide me with the identification card. This is me. It's a requirement.
You want me to listen to me? You're not listening to me. I'm trying to tell you.
It's always funny when they think it's like an equal playing field where I understand that in like most human interactions casually there is a back and forth, right? You know, there is a I'll listen to you and you listen to me. But this isn't that situation. I'm terrible at reading social situations. I don't know how to have interpersonal conversations. But I'm aware the power dynamic with a cop is not the same as just some random person. Just because you have to listen to him does not mean he has to listen to you in the same way. That's not how this social situation functions.
So we can de-escalate the situation.
Talking with a sovereign citizen seems like trying to talk with a 4-year-old whose only responses are why, yes, or no. Except minus the yes. They don't usually say yes to almost anything.
You understand?
Yes, wait, I'm not yelling at you, I'm talking to you, okay?
I don't think the guy who is in a position.
It's a rating requirement that you have a unique card on you while you're operating, traveling, or whatever on a state of Connecticut road. So whether it's a driver's license in this state, another state, it's a requirement, whether you're traveling, operating, whatever you want to call it, that you have that on your possession.
Yeah, I usually actually in the legal sense heard it referred to as operating in the modern day, more so than driving or anything. I don't know why specifically they use that language, but that is pretty typically the modern language, is you are operating a vehicle. You are the operator of the vehicle. I don't know if that's specifically just for clarity or what.
You are traveling on our roads, and then at that point, if you are stopped, it's a requirement that you provide that to the law enforcement officer.
I understand those
Okay,
things.
so can I have that card?
Oh, he said we understand. We got him, boys. Get him in the paddy wagon. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
But that's telling me that I'm using this road.
For those who have no idea what I'm talking about, a lot of sovereign citizens think that if a cop says, "Do you understand?" and you say yes, you're secretly consenting to their authority by standing under it. Understand? I hope not, because then you'd be under my authority.
As for business, and I'm not.
Book 'em, Dano.
I didn't say business, did I?
But
Don't do that. My brain, it works by association, and it has to do that.
you're putting me into the subject of commerce, and I'm not doing any of those
Undersit. They usually say overstand or innerstand.
things.
Again, it's regardless of anybody that is on our state roads. At that point, it is a requirement that you provide me with an identification card.
Misinterpreting the meaning of the word.
Why So Darkness says, this cop is cooked. Everybody knows Connecticut's the secret fifth commonwealth.
Expecting the.
Saying I can't do that, sir, because I'm not using.
Okay, so you don't have one?
I'm not saying I don't have one. I rescinded my application for my driver's license.
You rescinded your application, so you never even had one. You've never had a driver's license? That's not good. See, most sovereign citizens that I see at least have had a driver's license before, even if they got rid of it because they fell into this conspiracy theory bullshit. They at least have demonstrated at least once in their life that they were competent to get a driver's license. Kinda sounds like this guy's never had one, so he should really not be on the road. Like, I know legally it's the same. It doesn't matter if he's ever had one, but, like, morally, ethically, it matters, right?
Okay.
And I'm not using.
So this is what I want to say to you, sir. I'm willing to work with you, okay? You're making it harder.
I'm not trying.
You are. So
Honest.
Lisa Lamb with 500 bits says, my husband watches you with me sometimes. Today we were at the DMV for hours, and he said he's gonna be one of them sovereign citizens so we could get the hell out of there. That's actually the secret. That's what's creating all of them. Long wait times and not knowing you could make an appointment at the DMV. You can, you know. You can make an online appointment. A lot easier.
See,
this is interfering with my investigation. Okay?
investigation of what? Am I committing a crime? Am I committing a crime? That's what I'm just trying to understand.
At this point, you are, yeah.
A crime of what?
You're interfering. Failure to provide me with an operator license.
I will say in Michigan, we have a cool thing. I don't know if other states have this, or some do, some don't. Instead of a DMV, we have what's called the Secretary of State, where we do all our, like, motor vehicle documents and, you know, take our driver's tests and stuff, the written portion at least. In Michigan, we have kiosks now, where if you need to renew your license or license plate, you can just do it at, like, an ATM thing, basically. It's like a touch screen, and it handles it all for you. It's nice. They're just in supermarkets and shit.
But I'm telling you, I'm not doing commerce.
Okay.
I'm not.
Does this vehicle have a valid insurance policy?
I'm not using the road for.
Doesn't matter. You're traveling.
We have an app. Yeah, you can do it online in Michigan too.
I would like to reserve all my rights.
Listen to me.
And what about the rights of other road users to not get into an accident?
It's just that I think I like using the kiosks because you can get the sticker immediately. Like, it literally will vend you out the renewal sticker, whereas you gotta wait for the mail if you do it online.
Accident on roads they help contribute to with.
And requiring it while
It's all.
state road that has a valid. It is requiring it while traveling on a state road that has a valid insurance card and it has a valid registration. So yes, I am completing an investigation in reference to those 2 points. You are now refusing to provide me with a driver's license that's interfering with my investigation. Okay?
I'm not trying to interfere.
So
Your intent is irrelevant. That's not how this works. This crime, the intent is not relevant. There are crimes where intent is relevant. This ain't one of them.
I don't want
These
you
are
to
my
try
rights.
or anything like that. What I need you to do is provide me with that.
It annoys me when they say they know their rights, because it's like, I care deeply about people's legal rights, because I'm a people, and I would also like my rights respected. But, like, when these are the people that are like, I know my rights, and it's clear they don't, what's wrong with you? Shut up! You don't know anything! What do you mean you know your rights? I don't even know if you know how to wipe your ass! And you're telling me you're a fucking constitutional scholar? Come on, man.
And then we can move on.
I reserve all my rights.
If you needed any more evidence that this kid
Van Balian, stop, I've got it.
seals,
So you provide me with that information, there's nothing else I can do to help you.
Am I being detained?
Pretty obviously, yes.
Any traffic stop or mere presence of a law enforcement officer in the state of Connecticut is detained. Yes.
Okay, can you read me my rights, please?
They don't need to read you your Miranda rights at a traffic stop. They're not questioning you. You need your Miranda rights read to you in a situation where you're being questioned, like interrogated by the police. This is not that scenario.
I'm not placing you under arrest, so no.
don't look too downhearted. You put on your
Okay, but I am
The law states that I do not have to read you your rights on the detainment of a traffic stop.
okay, but I am not using the roads for any gains of for
You
hire.
can say that over and over and over as much as you want to say it, but
Okay.
regardless of what you're telling me, it is not true.
It's not true, so the law is not true. So
Your understanding of the law is incorrect.
you talking
The
about
law is true, and that's what I just told you.
you told me statutory law. I'm telling you constitution. I have the life.
Hey, fun fact, the Constitution lays out when states are allowed to do fucking statutes, and it's a lot of the time. It's the 10th Amendment. States are allowed to have their own legislature that drafts and passes bills for laws within their state. Traffic laws are under the purview of state and local governments. Period. That has been constitutionally tested. It has gone to the Supreme Court. Traffic laws are the purview of the states. It has nothing to do with anything interstate. It's not an interstate highway. They are literally the local and state highways. They are in the purview of the state.
I have the liberty and pursuit of happiness. I'm not arguing with either, so I said
The pursuit of happiness. My favorite part of the Constitution, the pursuit of happiness. Did you know that there's more than one document that's historically relevant and they're not all the Constitution? Not even citing the right thing.
I said I reserve my rights. I'm exercising my 4th and my 5th Amendment.
hate to break it to you, Junior, but statutory law is constitutional under the
Roll this window back down and let's work through this together.
I can hear you. I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable.
Look,
I
I'm a
feel-
law enforcement officer. I'm here to protect you. I'm
You-
here to serve the public. I'm not here
And-
to harass you. I'm not here to give you a hard time. Okay, but what I can tell you is I am completing an investigation and I'm asking you nicely. Okay, I'm not yelling at you. I'm not demanding you put your hands up. I'm just asking you for a simple card.
I can give you my name. I can give you my name and my address.
Okay? What's your first name?
My first name is John. Oh, okay. I give you my
First
name.
name?
Jonathan.
Is this your vehicle?
This belongs to me as private property.
This belongs to me, private property. All right, so he doesn't have it registered either. Good to know.
It belongs to me as private property.
When they say that, it means they refuse to register their vehicle with the state, which you need to do if you want to drive it in public roads. On public roads, rather. Shouldn't drive in public roads. Won't last very long.
Regardless, it's private property. I'm asking you if it's yours.
Now he says regardless of private. It belongs to me.
I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just trying to work with you.
I'm
You are.
what's your name? I didn't get your name. I'm sorry about
I
that.
told you, it was Colby. My
Co-
first name is Jonathan as well.
Jonathan Colby. Badge number
605.
605.
It's the same name and badge number he gave you, especially on this
All that information. And this is nothing that like.
I'm
Ask me for my badge number. I'll give you all that information, but I still have the job to do.
I'm letting I'm.
Pieces.
Yeah, I understand that. I get.
Right
Identified.
So you did identify yourself. I'm asking you if you have a driver's license in the state of Connecticut.
But I'm not using this as a commercial capacity. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What I'm asking you to do now is I'm going to ask you to keep the vehicle off and remain in the driver's seat and not get out.
Perfect. That's fine. That's perfect. Another car pulled up in front of me.
They tend to do that for sovereign citizens or uncooperative people in traffic stops to try and keep them from speeding away and initiating a high-speed chase, which is dangerous not only for them, but of course for the public.
Yeah, of course they have. Your drivers.
I had to turn on the vehicle. Traveling. He just told his partner I'm traveling.
Do you have a driver's license?
I just told you. I reserve my rights.
What's that?
He's trying to open my door. I said I reserve all my rights. If they're gonna deprive me of my rights under
I haven't seen the end of this. I don't know if he gets window smashed or not.
18 U.S.C. 242, then so be it.
Hate to break this to you again, but a trooper enforcing traffic laws.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Doing good, sir. What's your name? No, I said doing good.
Doing good?
Yeah, what's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
McGrath.
McGrath, okay. Badge number? Badge number?
Sorry, a little hard to hear.
No, badge number. Sorry about that.
123.
123?
Easy.
0390. I'm not running anywhere. I don't know why he's
that
trying
cop ever gives people his badge number and they just think he's lying. Like, I believe his badge number's 123. I've never seen a cop lie about a badge number. It's on camera. There'd be no reason to do it. But you think anyone's ever like, you're full of shit. It's not 123, even though it very well probably is 123. That's probably fun.
block me in, you block me. I'm not running nowhere. I have nothing.
I'm sorry.
Like, imagine if your name was like Joe Example. Like, I feel like you'd get shit about it, you know?
Hard to hear you.
No, nothing.
Okay.
I ain't say nothing.
What did he get stopped for?
I don't know.
Not
I
sure.
asked. He didn't even tell me. He just asked me for my identification.
Did you give over your paperwork, like your license, registration?
I'm not using the roads as anything for commerce. I'm not for hire.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
No, I'm saying I'm not using the roads for any kind of hire. I'm not using it. I'm not gaining any
That's fine. That's irrelevant.
profit. I'm not for hire. I'm just traveling. That's all I'm doing.
What's not for hire?
No, you're trying to subject me to say I'm doing something in a commercial capacity. If I have a commercial driver license, I'm not using the road in that way.
Genuinely, in their heads, do they think when they say this to the cop is gonna look at them and go, oh, you know, wink, and, like, let him go? Like, they think they're in a secret club, and if they mention this to the cop's gonna be like, all right, we did it.
Driver's license?
I'm not using that.
He
I'm not
knows
using
the
the road
secret cheat codes.
in that way.
You honk the horn 3 times, and then go up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start.
And I expressed to him that I'm just merely just traveling.
Okay.
I reserve my rights. I said under the exercise of my 4th and 5th Amendment. And I asked him if I'm being pulled over and I'm arrested, I'm being.
Sorry, I think I got a tip that I missed. Oh, it didn't come up in here. Well, someone sent me £5. So thank you to the person who sent me £5. There was no message with it, I don't think. I appreciate it.
detained if you could read me my rights, and that'll be okay. That's all I ask.
We don't need to read you your Miranda rights for a traffic stop.
Okay, am I being convicted of a crime? That's why he didn't articulate.
Are you being convicted of a crime? He knows his rights, but he doesn't know the difference between a conviction and an accusation. So that's good.
Like that. So I'm just trying to find what was his probable cause.
Trying to just get more
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what's going on, and I'm trying to de-escalate the situation. That's all.
Absolutely. I get it.
That's it.
I get it. Yeah.
All right, first of all, you people on the side some file.
Oh, that's funny. The other officer's kind of laughing about it.
I got 3 officers on me.
I think it's like telling a guard you're Thane in Skyrim. You've murdered someone. Have a nice day, sir.
What's going on tonight, mate? How you doing?
Doing good, you?
All right, not
You
bad.
just bribe them. You just bribe them. That's what video games taught me.
Not bad. You know the reason why we
Don't do that. That's a joke. Don't bribe people.
stopped you?
It's illegal and unethical.
I was trying to find that out.
Okay, so the reason why the trooper stopped you,
This is a weird question. Does GBP literally stand for like gilded British pounds? Fucking gilded in there? That's pretty funny. What a weird fake country.
the registration on the vehicle doesn't match the car that it's on.
Oh, great. That's a little better.
Yeah. So with that being
It's a
said,
little full of themselves, isn't it? Great British pound. Maybe it's just an okay British pound. I don't know. A little cringe.
this vehicle is not for. This is private property. This is my vehicle.
Okay, are you
So-
traveling on state roads?
I'm traveling. Yes, I'm
Okay.
I was listening to Zombie today, so I decided to finally look into the Troubles, because I was like, hey, I don't really know that much specific about the Troubles. But I was listening to fucking Zombie by, the Cranberries, and that song's about the Troubles. So I was reading that shit at work. That's fucked up, man.
Did you fill up this vehicle with fuel?
Anyway, Zombie's a pretty good song.
What does?
Did
I don't
you
understand.
interact in commerce by using fuel to fill this vehicle, or did you put vegetable oil from your house in it?
Probably vegetable.
All right, officer, that's not a very good argument. You don't need to argue with the nonsense, but if you're gonna, be better at it.
This is private property. This is my vehicle.
Okay, are you
So-
traveling on state roads?
I'm traveling. Yes, I'm
Okay,
traveling.
did you fill up this vehicle with fuel?
What does?
Did
I don't
you
understand.
interact in commerce by using fuel to fill this vehicle, or did you put vegetable oil from your house in it?
Probably vegetable oil from the house.
That's what you're using?
If that's where,
Oil
if
from
we're
the
gonna
house?
be, if you're gonna be an ass at the same time.
Who?
All right.
Who, me or you?
Who's the ass in this situation? The
Uh-huh.
I reserve all my rights. I exercise my
That's great.
Fourth
You
and
can
Fifth
do
Amendment.
all of that. That's perfectly fine. The problem we have tonight is the registration on this vehicle doesn't match. Okay, so we don't know if the vehicle's stolen.
The
We don't
vehicle's
know
not
whose
stolen.
vehicle
I
it
told
is.
you that.
We just got to figure all that
The
out.
vehicle's not stolen.
You understand, though, that that's what we got to figure out, right?
And, all right.
Okay.
You conduct your
Do
invest.
you have any paperwork with the vehicle?
I have everything for this vehicle. This
Okay.
vehicle belongs to me.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you have, like, the pink sheet for it. Is it registered? Do you have insurance? I know the answer. It's rhetorical.
If you could provide that, that would be fantastic.
Provide what
The
exactly?
registration and proof of insurance.
What exactly? Like, he doesn't understand what you're supposed to have? I know he's just playing dumb in that particular instance, but do you think that's to your advantage?
I just told you that this car belongs.
The insurance thing always gets me too, because, like, even if you believed you didn't need a registration or a driver's license, which is bullshit, but even if you believed that, you want to get on the roads and not have insurance? You know how expensive it is to get in a car accident with someone without insurance, especially if it's your fault and you injure someone? It would ruin your whole life in an instant. It'd also be ruining someone else's life, which is maybe the more important thing, but, like, even from a selfish, like, self-centered perspective, why would you set yourself up to destroy your life like that? It's insane.
To me, it's private property.
Correct. I understand
No
that.
insurance either?
Is that the face and gesture?
Public and state property when you're
Public
driving it.
and vehicular use. Anyone can use it if you're not engaging in commerce.
You are engaging in commerce because you filled the vehicle up with fuel.
That's a bad argument. This cop should not be allowed to deal with sovereign citizens. Not only is he engaging with the bullshit, he's giving a bad response to the bullshit. He'd be better off just shutting the fuck up and just arresting the guy. He's doing more harm than good here, because he's playing along, which is going to make the sovereign citizen go, so I was right, I was onto something. They were trying to, argue within my framework. Don't do that. You can mock it, that's fine, but don't try and argue like that. Especially a stupid point like that.
Did you not, or you?
That
or
doesn't
you
make
used-
any sense. But
How
okay.
that doesn't make any sense? Okay. Well, we have a tow truck coming to tow your private property. Okay.
Well, that's
Okay.
not okay. That's
you
not
gotta
gonna
step out
happen.
of the car.
That's not gonna happen. Narrator, it was what happened.
So can I get my rights read to me, please?
Say it again?
Can you read me my rights?
Okay, your car's getting impounded. They didn't say you're getting arrested at the moment.
I don't need to read your rights.
Hey,
Can you-
Phoenix, how you doing? I'm all right.
Read me my rights. You already brought to take something that doesn't belong to the state of Connecticut.
I'm trying to work with you here, okay? The information that you provided me, I can't find anything, okay? You're not working with me.
I identified as you asked for.
Okay, you identified as whatever, but I don't have a valid driver's license.
Identify as
or anything
whatever.
that I can say who you are, and that's what I need.
I gave you what you needed.
This is going to turn into something I don't want it to turn into. There's no reason for it.
Just a Peach with $1 tip says, after the attack in Liverpool, we read an article that one of the people present said, now I'm having a bad day, or something similar.
You have every right to believe whatever you want to believe.
Because it's the law. It's,
No.
it's not the law?
Exactly. You have the right to insurance.
Okay.
So, just stay right here. I'll be right back.
Okay. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cops here. Because I'm obviously doing something that is unconstitutional. It's crazy.
You're not doing something... He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He sounds so ignorant. They didn't say you're doing something unconstitutional. They said you're doing something illegal. Does he think that unconstitutional is synonymous with illegality? Does he, like, think that something is only illegal if it's against the Constitution? Did he read the parts of the Constitution where it explains how to set up a legislature in order to, like, pass laws? And then also gives the states the rights to do the same? Like, it's annoying when they cite the Constitution, but you can tell they've never read it beyond, like, cherry-picked sections that other people have fucking pulled out. I read this shit in fucking high school. What are you doing? Like, it's not just... It's like he thinks the Constitution is just the Bill of Rights. It's not. Those are amendments anyway, right? The Constitution, a lot of it is literally just setting up, here's the structure of the federal government, here's the judiciary and how it works, here's the legislature, here's the responsibilities of the executive branch. It's just a lot of that, and that's all interesting, but, like, I don't think he's read those parts.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he ran it yet. Yeah.
I don't put me in any sovereign citizen things. That's not what I am in doing. It's not sovereign citizen. That's a terrorist group. I don't have.
Jason Proxy says, did you see Old Squishy Gardener's audio-only video yesterday? First thing the respondent said when it was his turn to speak was, I hate Democrats, and it was already downhill. Yeah, that guy wasn't a sovereign citizen, so I didn't pull that video for today, though I might want to watch it on just a court watch video. He seems like a unstable guy who keeps getting into fights with his neighbors and is just a bitter old man who wants to take out everything on everyone else. A typical Republican.
Nothing to do with that.
I'm not a sovereign citizen, says...
I don't know if I said, but it was a restraining order, hearing, and the couple did get a restraining order against him. Because he was literally, like... When the wife was leaving for work, he had a sign that said whore, that he was, like, literally going to the end of the street where she, like, stopped and was, like, putting the whore sign, and then when she left, he'd take the whore sign. Which is harassment. and crazy. There was more than just that, but that was the one that stuck out to me as the weird one. Getting up at, like, 6 a.m. so you can, like, call someone a whore via typography. Hydrate will do.
This is the guy who rightly points out that sovereign citizens have been labelled domestic terrorists, but who still goes by the sovereign citizen playbook anyway. You can't make this stuff up. Anyway, here's the supervisor.
He's got it taped. Oh, okay.
It doesn't belong to the state of Connecticut. It's private property.
Sir, is there a reason why you have the VIN taped over?
I don't
we
answer
can't
questions.
see it? You don't answer questions? Okay. Hey, partner.
Oh, he taped over his VIN. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Your VIN number has to be visible because, you know, it's to identify your vehicle, which is important if your vehicle gets stolen or chopped.
I'm the supervisor.
Yeah, supervisor.
So, Thomas,
Donis badge number.
No, so listen, this is the deal. They have a lawful reason to pull you over. They have a lawful reason to pull you out of the vehicle. We're trying to avoid that. We could. It's okay. By all means, we have to do what we got to do. I understand you got your notions, whatever they may be. So, I mean, I don't know what they are. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the car's in misuse. It's going to get towed. The other thing you have is that
you want me to look up private property? Easy enough.
Right now, we give you a lawful order to step out of the vehicle. With that said and done,
all right, yeah, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. If you have something to say, just like you said, you can interject. I have no problem with that. So right now, they are giving you a lawful order because the vehicle is a misuse. Basically, they can't identify you. Because I guess, do you have any identification?
I gave him my name. I gave him everything.
Okay. Do you have anything with a photograph? That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't at this moment.
Okay. So they need to further investigate, find out who you really are. That's number one. Number two, the vehicle seems to have issues with the registration. Okay. So with that said.
There isn't specifically a private property, but there is a private entry, and it seems, you know, you'll get it. Private, affecting or belonging to private individuals as distinct from public, generally not official. Well, that's not very helpful for what I'm looking for either. They really don't just have private property in here. Oh, wait, maybe they do. Am I crazy? That's crazy to me that private property isn't in here. Huh. I'm genuinely surprised that's not in here. I think that's the first time I've seen something in Black's Law Dictionary that I'm like, I'm surprised that's not. Okay, I'll do a different one then. Private bank, an unincorporated banking institution owned by an individual or partnership and dependent upon the state statutes, subject to or free from state regulation.
That alone, you're looking at a misuse of a plate.
I think it's considered capital. I'm just like, because private property is a thing in the law. Like personal oh, maybe it's under, because private property is distinct from personal property, so in legal terms, it might just be under personal property. That would make more sense. I'm actually going to check if it says personal property.
Or did it have a plate? Does it have a plate?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is it misuse?
So whatever plate was on this vehicle,
Okay.
It is on this vehicle.
Did he already take it off?
Huh?
Did he already take it off?
Eventually they will.
No, I'm asking because you said if he's there. I don't know if he took it already or not.
The plate is there. But I didn't notice.
Okay,
there was
okay.
a plate when I was walking up. So with that said and done.
Okay, so personal property is in here, but it just says see property. So I assume under property, it probably has personal and private. Okay, I'll find it. Okay.
The fact that the plate is not that the plate does not belong to the
Snooze
vehicle.
that ad.
Okay.
That right there, it's their probable cause to pull you over.
Okay.
All right. So with that said and done, whatever it is that they need and they're trying to identify you, just to move this along, just help them out, just so we don't have to escalate this. I'll be honest with you, as a supervisor, I don't want this to be escalated.
Me neither. That's how I identified. I actually gave him my name.
Okay.
Okay, so property, that which is peculiar. Is there a secondary definition of peculiar that I'm missing? Anyway, that which is peculiar or proper to any person, that which belongs exclusively to one in the strict legal sense, an aggregate of rights which are guaranteed and protected by the government.
Give him my name and date of birth.
The word is also commonly used to denote everything which is the subject of ownership, corporeal or incorporeal, tangible or intangible, visible or invisible, real or personal. Everything that has an exchangeable value or which goes to make up wealth or estate.
Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from New York.
From New York. From New York
Ran the Fool wants me to wear the witch hat. Will do.
City, upstate, or what?
No, Bronx, I guess.
Peculiar as in particular. See, I read it initially as particular. That's why I had to pause for a second. I was like, wait, that's not particular. That's peculiar. Are they related words in some way? Just a Peach says, I just put a pic of the tuna noodle casserole in the food section of the Discord. It is good. I bet. I haven't had that in forever. And P-Meal with a $5 tip. Thank you, P-Meal.
Okay. Did you ever have an identification or driver's...
Sorry, I know this is early in the stream for it, but I have to pee real quick, so I will be back in just a sec. Don't set fire to chat. How dare you? Which hat? Which hat? This hat. All right. There. Gotta put the seam in the back. Okay, back to it.
Yeah, I have one.
Holy
with...
shit, I gotta snooze another ad? Wow, Twitch is trying to give lots of fucking ads today. It's an archaic synonym for specific or unique. Thank you, I was wondering about that, the thing I said earlier. Peculiar. Fenekagami says, SovCits annoy me for the same reason rich assholes do. They want all the benefits of living in a society with without any of the rules, responsibilities, or reciprocity that would be required. Crazy as preppers are, at least they're committed to actual disengagement with others. These guys think they get to leech off the system without any identification, surveillance, or rules, like rich people not paying taxes. Agreed.
But I rescinded it with Connecticut.
Well, if you're stupid enough to think rescinding your driver's license prevents law enforcement...
I give him my right to drive, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, you virtually rescinded, you just gave it back up?
Yeah.
Why?
Why would I give him my right to drive? It's free.
No, it's not actually. It's a privilege. And you're... Oh, you can't see the cop's face, probably. Let me hold on. As soon as he said that, the cop went into this face, which, of course he did. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Hold on. The cop just looks like he's so fucking done. Look at him.
Okay.
But that, I'm telling you, I'm being respectful.
Listen,
it may sound crazy to you, but the DMV took my recent of driver's license. I'm not using the roads, and why would I register my vehicle if I'm not using it?
You did have a license at one time.
That's what I told him.
Okay, so he did have a license. That's good, at least. I mean, he needs it to drive still. He's doing an illegal thing, but as for what I said earlier, at least he passed the test at some point.
According to the state, not against you, not according to you, but according to the state, you had a license, you get it back up because you don't feel you have the right that, hey, I have the right to drive.
I had the life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. There's a lot of doctrines.
It would make me very happy to rob a bank, so you can't stop me, because I'm just pursuing my happiness. Did you know that's how that works?
On this, there's a lot.
Like, does he think this works for other things? Like, do you think it's an alcoholic's right to, like, pursuit of happiness to drunk drive because it makes him feel good? Not how society works.
I think the word you're looking for there is...
Realize that you still got to play by the rules of the government because they expect the car to be registered, insured, and everything else.
Yeah, but I'm not driving. I'm not using the vehicle for any profit. I'm not for hire.
No, it has nothing to do with
It's irrelevant.
profit. This has to do with just basic stuff. In order for the vehicle to be on the roadway, it needs to be registered.
Why do people rob banks? Why do people rob banks, Lady Anne?
So the state, or in your case, probably the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
They require your vehicle to be registered, insured, and everything else.
Yeah, if I'm using.
It's just the rules that you got to play with. Unfortunately, you may not feel you may not like what the government has to offer you, and what they're asking for you to do, and that's okay. Listen, everyone.
Because that's where the money is, and that's barely a joke. That's barely a joke. I'm normally very nice. I'm gonna put on my comedian hat. This is my comedian hat. Not a very funny joke. Like, where's the... That's like an anti-joke, I guess. If you're going for an anti-joke, it's fine. It's just not a joke. A joke requires subversion. That's not subversion. You're stating the obvious. But not even that it's so obvious that, like, it's funny? I don't know. I don't vibe with that joke. D-. That's so mean. Why am I being so mean to you? I had a long day at work. I'm sorry. I apologize. I dealt with too many people today.
It's not my opinion. It's really it's not belief.
It's a non-joke on purpose. Well, there you go. At least it's on purpose.
It's not belief either. It's constitutional.
It's constitutional.
It's a John Dillinger quote. Well, I'm glad he's dead.
Constitutional law, like everything statutory.
How do we move forward from this point then?
Can I make sure he wrote my name properly and everything is all set?
Sure, you got.
Because
Did you write his name and all that stuff? You want to put it on a piece of paper and show it to him in the window?
this is
that okay
ridiculous.
with that?
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
I'm trying to
So
de-escalate.
Here's what I'm trying to get at. What's your first name? I'm sorry.
My name is Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Sergeant Adonis. So what
Sergeant
I said, what I
Adonis.
want to do is, I want to make this a speech.
Am I crazy? Wait, did Dillinger have something to do with rifles? John Dillinger. What was his deal? Oh, he was a gangster and a bank robber. Well, there you go. He's not a comedian. I guess I don't blame him. He was probably a good bank robber.
As possible, want to move on with life. I want you to
Literally.
Be on the way. I want everybody to be on the way, but I don't need.
Why am I associating the word Dillinger with guns, though? Derringer. There you go. That's my mistake. Thank you.
You feel me?
I'm here. I'm willing to
Okay, so
cooperate.
Jonathan, is this
Gunned
what-
down in Wisconsin? Ugh. Imagine dying in Wisconsin.
It's just all correct. Yeah.
Yes. Whoa, he put 60381. I'm 99. I'm 20.
99.
Come on.
Try that.
Come on, you see it about the S381. I'm 99. Yes. Whoa, he put 60381. I'm 99. I'm 20.
99.
Come on.
Try
60381. I'm 99.
What is he referring to here? I'm sorry. Maybe I was at work too much today. What is he talking about with these numbers?
I'm here. I'm willing to
I'm
cooperate.
603.
It's just all correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, date of birth. Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, the mere something that's so small that could be
Date of
prevented.
birth again?
Sorry, it threw me off that this adult person was born in 1999.
And that right there, the mere something that's so small that could be
Date of
prevented.
birth again?
All that
I say as someone born in 1994.
could have been prevented by you providing documents you are legally required to produce instead of giving your details.
Month, same
Everything is the same, yeah.
birth again?
1999.
But the same month, same.
Everything is the same, yeah. That's how I'm like, yo, like, what are you telling me? You can't find me.
So what I'm telling you is right now, straight up, either way, if the car is not registered, if it's not insured, if the plate does not belong to the vehicle itself, I'm not gonna miss any words with you. The car is gonna get towed, and it's because of that situation. Now,
I object to taking my car, my private.
Well,
This is
I'm
my
just letting you
property.
know.
I didn't.
I understand that, but
There's no
right now,
contract with the
there's-
state. That's I'm just trying to let you know. There's no contract with the state. I'm not giving up my
Jonathan,
right.
But there's a thing. You're not supposed to be driving this vehicle because the state.
You're born in the 80s. In 5 years, the 80s will be 50 years ago. The 80s will be the equivalent to the 1950s when I was a child. Instead of Leave It to Beaver, it's gonna be fucking boop 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 boop. Axel F.
Says, hey,
I'm not driving. I told them I was traveling. I'm traveling
I
from.
understand that you're traveling.
Point A to
but the
point
fact of
B.
the matter is that you're not supposed to be traveling in this vehicle because the state wants you to have the car registered.
The state
and
wants me to
insured.
have it insured, but I'm not using it as
And
commerce.
registered.
Synth pop returns with a vengeance. I wouldn't be mad about it.
And registered.
And registered?
One of my favorite songs of the last 10 years, that one fucking Weekend song that everyone likes. And I said, "Ooh, I'm blinded by the light." And that's always sounded like an 80s song to me. Like, I think if you released that song in like 1987, I don't think it would be that out of step.
The statute says. The statute by law.
What statute is that, if possible?
The
Don't understand.
14, well, you got the 1412. What is it? 1412A. Which
1412A.
Is the, yeah. Which is the registration one.
The registration one, okay.
You have insurance?
I'm not using this car as any
Okay,
for business. That's
so
what I'm trying to tell you.
the
I'm
Doesn't
not for hire.
matter.
In every other state in the United States of America right now, as I know it, they require that when you have a registration, the vehicle also is to be insured. Okay, now that's another.
God damn, I look pretty today. Especially in this hat. Holy shit. Good for me.
That's the other statute on that.
I woke up at 6 this morning, too. Do I just look good when I'm tired, or am I so tired that I'm not as self-critical?
That one, the insurance is the 14213B Bravo.
Was
Okay.
Sequest the 80s? I think it was the 90s. Let me check. 1993 to 1995.
So it's 14213, 1412A for registration. Okay, now you got what you call a misuse. If you have a plate that belonged to another car at some time in the past, and now you actually affixed to this vehicle, now you're looking at an additional charge.
And what charge is
and
that?
The statute is that it's going to be 14147, which explains it says a misuse of registration. Basically, you're using registration that belongs to another vehicle or never belonged to anything at all. You know, that maybe was canceled or whatever it was, and you put it and you fix it to this vehicle here.
Every time you hear that sweet.
Now, the officer stopped you for whatever problem cause he had. So this is where we are right now. So with that said and done, we, you know, are bounded by having to remove the vehicle off the road because it's not roadworthy. It's your car. We're not seizing your car.
You're seizing my car. You're taking my property.
We're going to remove it from the road, but you have the right to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, get a registration and insurance. And
oh, that's actually nice of them. So they're seizing it, but they're not impounding it. So he wouldn't even have to pay to get it out. All he has to do is go get it registered, and he can take it without paying. That's really nice of these officers. I've never seen cops do that for this situation. They always impound the vehicle. So they are bending over backwards for this guy and being like, listen, you don't like, normally this would be like a multi-$100 fee sometimes, depending on the impound lot and the state. So like, really incredible that they're telling him, you just need to get it registered. That's it. And the fact that he doesn't understand that they are throwing him the biggest bone ever is fucking crazy. They are being so kind.
Insure the vehicle, and then you can take the vehicle out.
I don't want to do any of that because I'm not. That's the first place why I didn't give up the right to get my car.
I understand. So the way we would have avoided that is if you would have had the vehicle registered already. And I know that you don't abide by the law.
I didn't say I don't abide by the law. I uphold the law. I follow it to the T and understand it.
All right.
You do not. That's the point. You're Dunning-Krugering so hard.
Understanding the
way the car's gonna get towed. I'm telling you straight up.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm telling you right now. We're gonna identify you. Either way, the car's gonna get towed.
The way he did that little prayer thing, did he think that when the cop said, I'm gonna tell you right now, he was about to say, I'm gonna tell you right now, you passed our secret test. Get on with your day, and here's a trophy. Like, it looked like he was, like, really hoping that something good was about to happen there. Like,
I'm telling you straight up. I'm not gonna listen. I've been straight up with you, right?
I understand
and you've
that.
been very honest with me. I've been honest with you, and I like this dialogue that we're having. But what I'm telling you is that's where we are right now, and let's just kind of keep it moving smoothly and all that. You got kids?
Isn't it? No, I'm not here.
I just saw the baby seats. That's all.
That's fine.
knowing that this fool has procreated at some point makes me a little sad for their future.
Jesus Christ, I do not like Van Valiant.
Let's keep it cordial. Let's keep it moving.
I'm always gonna keep it cordial.
I used to, too!
Man, I'm always gonna keep it.
All right. So, like I said, were you able to identify him? Were you able to identify him? No? Okay. All right. So, listen.
What annoys me the most is that Van Valiant just makes the same joke every time, and it's, you're a fucking idiot! That's the whole joke. That's every joke. That's every joke forever, is Van Valiant is, you're a fucking idiot! And I know I get upset and say similar things sometimes, but you know, tell a different joke. Even once. Tell a joke that isn't just asserting superiority over someone who's wrong.
There's the warning. Are you going to step out of the vehicle?
So there's a threat?
That's not a threat. That's just, I'm telling you right now.
A warning is
I'll give you the courteous.
He's doing the AVGN thing. He's gonna take a diarrhea dump in his ear. Toreador, thanks for a 60-month streak, says 60 months. That's it. 5 years. Woo! I've been doing this for 5 fucking years. That's interesting. Thank you very much. That's incredible. Wow, a 5th year anniversary. That the first one? Probably not. That's crazy, though.
The courtesy. The courtesy is, Jonathan, we're going to tow your vehicle. We need you to get out of the vehicle.
I don't consent to my vehicle being towed.
I just gave you a lawful order, which they probably gave you.
Your consent is irrelevant? This is not a consent situation.
The lawful order on top of that. Now we're going to move forward to the next level. I don't want to go there, be honest with you, because I want to keep this very peaceful, and I want to move on my way. You want to move on your way. I understand that. So, I already asked you. I'm going to ask you again, just to be clear, clarity, okay? And, you know, your camera's going off. It's recording.
Yeah,
my
recording.
camera's going off. Everybody's camera's off, all right? It's good.
Perfect.
So, I'm going to ask you, would you mind stepping out of the vehicle so that trooper can actually tow your vehicle and do what he has to do, and he's going to issue you infractions, and then you could go to court and you can actually contest it, and that's how we go from there. Life goes on.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. I just don't consent with my property being taken.
It's it's they're seizing it. Do you know what that means?
I'm already asked you. So I'm gonna give you the courtesy to open the door on your own.
Oh, that happened, and then when it was cold.
You can open it from the inside.
Yeah, I just don't consent to my property being told. That's what I'm saying.
You don't have to consent, but this is where we are right now. Consent.
I don't have to consent, but this is where we are.
Correct, you don't have to consent. They're gonna do it anyway. Do people, like, I know that I overthink things, but have people legitimately not thought about the basics of how society functions? Yes, when you are doing something that the cops believe is illegal, they're correct in this case. They are going to take you by force whether you like it or not. In most avenues of life, consent is incredibly important. But this is like the main one where it's not. This is like the one social situation where society has gone, you know what? This is not a consent thing. This is the one situation, and it's when you're being arrested and like in the justice system.
So what you're saying is you're refusing to get out of the vehicle?
I didn't say I was refusing.
All right, so you know what? We're moving on. Do what you gotta do.
Oh, that was, I'm not one of these people that sits here and roots for the window to get smashed. I don't think that's very healthy. But in terms of, like, grading that window smash, that was pretty smooth. Look at that cop. Oh, my God. Hold on. Let me show you the eyes of this cop. He's been waiting to do this all day. Holy shit. This window might need to get a restraining order from this cop. Holy shit, he's looking at it like he's been starving in the desert for 10 years, and he suddenly found an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, what the fuck is this? Alright. I'm not gonna overanalyze that. Oh yeah, okay, he used one of those things. That's why it was so smooth, because he didn't, like, smash it. He used one of the window... I forget what they're called. Window punch thingies. Basically, you like, click it on the window, and it, like, puts a lot of force in one area, and it smashes it. Yeah. Good.
Nice, they broke my window.
Nope, don't reach.
Yes, they did. They did indeed.
Do not reach. Do not reach.
But I don't consent no search and no seizure of my vehicle. Can't you want me to open it?
They're gonna take your vehicle and they're gonna inventory it. That's how it works.
For you? No, do not touch my phone. Do not let it record. That's messing with evidence. All right.
It's messing with evidence.
Can I? Are you gonna read me my rights?
Go ahead, Sarge. Yep, we will.
Okay.
Now you get the
Phoenix says, why do SovCit seems to have not grown up in their own society? How do they learn nothing about anything? So strange. Like, when I don't know something, I look it up, hence why I'm not confused all the effing time. Then again, they do look things up, they just find bullshit answers. Believe me, nothing more do I want to understand than this kind of thing. That's why I'm obsessed with it as a topic, this and conspiracy theorists and cults and all sorts of strange beliefs. Why do some people have the ability, more or less, to analyze the world, not perfectly, no one analyzes things perfectly, but through a lens of, like, material reality, where cause and effect is a thing and you follow evidence, and then there's another subset of people that are just completely unable to discern reality. Why is that? I don't know. I know I'm never going to have an answer, and frankly, there's not a succinct answer for that question. I'm sure it's a multifaceted, complex question, or complex answer, that would be very much about, like, how people are raised, and how society treats people, and education, and parenting, and all sorts of things that I will never know. And that's frustrating, so instead I'll just wear a witch hat and make jokes, and pretend I'm not constantly haunted by the confusion that I get from existing in society. Creepy doll in the wall, thanks for 43 months, says SovCit's my fave. Nice. And Beth Harp, thanks for 13 months with Prime, says, hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a pretty good one. Hope you are too. Almost on a hype train.
Rights you don't understand read to you. I told you it wouldn't be on your terms. Also, nice window bust.
Can you push? I can't turn. I need you to. All right, you're about to pull me out.
All right, we got you. Y'all dragging me on.
Nobody's dragging you.
Yes, you are. I'm trying to turn.
Relax. That's it. And then just lift them up. Let's get them up. Yep. All right.
Oh no, not the torture cuffs.
No, got you.
All right.
Pull them over.
Roll you to the side. Bring your knee up to your chest.
Recovery position. We did it.
There you go. Now you're gonna roll. Bring your other knee. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Would you have a wallet or anything if you can just come out?
Put this foot.
And your cell phone obviously is over.
Yeah, and my foot back.
FipAJZ says, my mom, the IT engineer, has been doing pseudo-esoteric stuff for years. It doesn't seem to have any negative effect beyond being dumb. I also do not understand. We no longer talk about this topic with her. Be careful. There's a lot of avenues for being radicalized in those communities, especially right now. If she's into woo-woo stuff, she's already probably getting exposed to more dangerous conspiratorial beliefs. Potentially some hateful ones, potentially just some harmful ones. I know it's easier to not talk about it, but maybe check in every once in a while to make sure she's not falling for neo-Nazi propaganda. I know that sounds catastrophizing, but, like, it happens all the time. Be careful. Emisor, thanks for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs and kicking off a hype train. I really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, I'm a little behind on gift subs and subs for the month, so if you want to help support the show, you can always subscribe yourself or gift subs or bits. Cool beans?
Put back. Where's your backpack? Is it on your foot? Look, okay. This foot underneath you. Put that by your front. I'll do it on this side. Watch this. Ready? All right.
Good comedic timing on that door. Wow, that was like a perfect, like, shattering glass sound effect, too. Like, I would legitimately be like, did someone pick that of a fucking sound pack? Like, it was the perfect Foley.
Alright.
Like the Wilhelm scream of window smashes.
So there we are, guys, and
right. Well, wonder if he learned a lesson. Probably not. Alright, moving on.
Alright.
We haven't seen Judge Middleton in a while. Let's check in. How's Judge Middleton doing? Judge Middleton, of course, is from my neck of the woods. He's another Michigan judge who's usually pretty good about dealing with sovereign citizens. 21% to level 4 with 3 minutes on the hype train.
Mr. Andrew Perry is.
We should ban the Wilhelm screen. In fairness, I haven't heard it much in the last 20 years. The use of it, like, to an annoying extent, kind of died out after 9/11. Not as a direct result. Although it would be funny if they were related.
Here on behalf of Midland Credit. And as I said, each one of these is a bit of a wrinkle. This is another motion to set aside a default. The default judgment entered.
Disaster movies were fun, though. Twisters came out last year. Watch that.
In this case, in the amount of $1,553.62.
Why do I just want to kill the classics? Looking at my background, does it look like I have an interest in killing the classics, or does it look like I have an interest, nay, an obsessive hyperfixation on preserving the classics, even if they're crap? Most of them aren't, but I own some crap, let me tell you.
Cents from Midland Credit against Mr. Cuscard. That was entered on November 25th. It was also set for a summary disposition hearing, and I granted summary disposition as well as the default. The defendant had no defense, and summary disposition was appropriate. The defendant filed a motion to set aside the default, but it was actually also a summary disposition. Mr. Perry, what's your position?
My position.
I think this is about a credit card. This is another sovereign citizen that thinks they don't have to pay back their credit card.
Judge.
And no, I've not seen the new Final Destination yet. I plan on watching it. It's one of my favorite horror franchises, so plan on seeing it. I've heard really good things. It's reviewed quite well. Minute left on the hype train.
Is that
Do I own a copy of The Final Sacrifice? Let me double check. I don't think so, but I will search my collection. It does not appear so. The closest thing that comes up when I search it in my collection is The Final Conflict, which is an entirely different movie. About the Antichrist, I think.
Mr. Cusscard didn't properly file a request to set aside the summary judgment, and I think that's the real issue today for today's hearing, is
30
whether
seconds on the hype train.
Mr. Cusscard pled a request to set aside the summary judgment, which I don't believe he has.
Mr. Cusscard, one of my burdens as a judge every week is to explain to lay people what summary disposition means. You got sued in this lawsuit. The complaint was filed in March of 2024. You filed, it took a while for them to serve you.
Thanks for the hype train.
But you filed a very brief answer in June saying, I deny responsibility of owing this debt. Then you filed a little more expansive general denial where you denied everything. All right, that gets you past the default, but it doesn't get you past a motion for summary disposition. A motion for summary disposition that they filed says there is no material issue of fact, and the defendant has not stated any defense. They filed a history of
Does the judge have a rat tail? He's got long hair. It's not a rat tail. It's just kind of in the shot in a weird way, so it kind of looks like it. It's just long hair. He usually puts it in a ponytail.
bill of sale and a charge history regarding this credit card.
Middleton kind of gives me the vibe of a guy that was kind of like a hippie or a burnout in like the 70s, or like hippies weren't like the 80s. Hippies were more the 60s anyway, but he kind of gives me the vibe of just like a guy that like would want to like travel around in a van. You know what I mean? But like he grew up and became a judge. I don't mean that in a negative way. He's just kind of got a chill vibe.
Card. So we had a hearing. So two things. If you had shown up, I would have found probably summary disposition for the plaintiff, but you didn't show up for the hearing. So I found summary disposition was appropriate. Probably shouldn't check the default box. So a couple things. Why didn't you show up for the hearing? And in order to set the default aside, you have to set forth a material defense, meritorious defense. So your meritorious defense says you were less than 18 years of age.
He has a video where he explains his hair. Oh, what does he say?
Which is not correct. You were born in 1971, so you weren't a minor when this contract was entered. The contract is void or voidable because we did not have a meetings of the mind, no wet signature. That's not valid. You had a history of charging things on the credit card.
I find the no wet signature thing to be funny because that's an incredibly old thing to be citing. Like, does he know that you can sign contracts digitally now? Like, you don't have to literally sign it with ink on paper. You can do digital signatures. Like, the idea that you need a wet ink signature is so funny.
Card and paying the charges. They don't need those things. I should not have
Windex Kool-Aid said, it started out as an I don't give a damn, and then he liked it. Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
To pay this debt. The complaint is missing key elements, which is also incorrect. So, so there is no meritorious defense, and I don't know why you didn't show up for the hearing in November. So, Mr. Cuscard, what's your position?
Well, my position is that I was having technical difficulties with the Zoom. You know, I'm not one of those savvy people when it comes to.
Okay, I gotta talk about this, because this makes me mad. Look, the whole I'm not very tech-savvy thing, you could get away with that excuse in 1997. I understand that. I understand back in the 90s or even the early 2000s, people who were born earlier, not totally being used to interfacing with technology all the time. We've been in a world where you need to interface with technology constantly, all day, every day, for at minimum 20 years. That's not an excuse. Like, imagine if any other aspect of society worked this way, where someone was just like, hey, I'm trying to even think of an example, because nothing works like this. If you were at work or something, and they were like, hey, can you write up some reports? And you were just like, I'm not very good at writing. I'm just not, like, I don't write. It's like, okay, but, like, as part of your task here, this is not optional because you're not good at it. It just feels like at this point it's like weaponized incompetence.
The tech stuff. And
Me
again,
neither. Go ahead.
You had a coworker who was 24 and didn't know how to use Excel or emails. Excel I kinda get, because that's specific and not everyone does, like, bookkeeping or uses Excel for, like, formula stuff. But email isn't even hard, even if you haven't used email. It's a fucking email address and you type shit into the boxes. How do you not understand email? Ashley One Up says, why are you naked? I'm not very clothes savvy.
and like I said, you know, I couldn't connect with the Zoom. And as far as like the meetings of the mind thing, like I went through the packet.
Tenek Rune says, I mean, I've stated I'm not good at Canva and visual marketing. I'm more of a writer. That's not what I'm talking about. Obviously, people have different skills and deficiencies in very specific things. But to just say, I'm not good with computers in the year of our Lord 2025 is insane. What are you talking about? Fucking everything's a computer. You're not good with computers? My doorbell's a computer. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what?
That was sent to me that I eventually got. And I don't see my signature anywhere in there.
Well, you don't have to have your signature in there. You have a history of charging things on the card and then paying the charges.
Your Honor, you keep saying that you don't know that was me. I'm saying that I have been a victim of war. So and again, and I do have a Capital One account, but it's not that account.
Well, they sent numerous monthly bills to your address that was in place in Kalamazoo at that time. So there is a fundamental issue.
I've never done Zoom either, but I assume you would be. It's literally, you click the link. You click the link and then it explains everything to you if you read it. Like, no one is developing their apps to be confusing to you. It will explain everything. The buttons are labeled. I just feel like there's a certain percentage of the population that when any sort of like, oh, I don't know how to do this pops up, it's like they freeze. It's like they're incapable of like being like, all right, I don't know this. Let's figure it out. Let's troubleshoot this. They're like, I don't know how to do this. Uh-oh. Better stop entirely.
You moved to set aside the default, but you didn't move to set aside the motion for summary disposition. So summary disposition would enter and did enter because there is no material issue of fact and you did not state any defense in your answer. You just stated a general denial. So summary disposition entered. In addition, you didn't show up. And then sometime after that, let me see when you filed the motion. The order entered November 25th. And you filed a motion to set it aside on December 9th. So it was within 21 days of the entry of the default. But I don't know what to say about technical difficulties. People have them all the time. People do have the right to just come into the court.
And Your Honor,
so let's assume technical difficulties is a legitimate reason. You still haven't stated a valid defense that you owe the debt. So,
excuse me, Judge Middleton. The very first court date I had, I showed up to the court, right? And whatever it went, however it went, and that day I was informed, hey, you didn't have to come all the way down. You could have done this by Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried that the second time, and it didn't work for me.
Okay, that was user error. You probably shouldn't have done that. Like, you're now using the excuse that you're not good with tech, but you went out of your way to intentionally do the Zoom court? Like, you know what I mean?
And I again, the whole wet signature thing and not the plaintiff not presenting that I thought that was a relevant defense.
Well, maybe in 1906 you had a wet signature. In the current era, things are all done electronically. And you pled in bad faith that you were 17 years old when this was
17.
entered.
No, I didn't say 17. I'm not 17.
Well,
no, he's saying when you signed the contract, you claimed that when you signed the contract you were 17, thus making it not a valid contract because you would have been a minor. That's illegal. You can't just lie as a defense.
You said that you weren't a minor. You were a minor when you entered into this.
Oh, that must have been a mistake, man.
Whoops! A little bit of accidental perjury is a treat. That's fine.
All right. And then secondly, there is no such thing as a wet signature. I'm not sure if you read that on the internet or somebody told you that.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. Summary disposition entered. You filed an answer that said, hey, I don't owe this debt.
Yeah,
and then you filed a more expansive answer that said, hey, I don't owe this debt.
All right, man.
That's not a defense.
Okay.
So for the reasons stated,
I only trust documents that are moist.
On the record, the motion is denied. Again, I don't have to like this.
Yeah.
And I guess it's my own fault. I just should have just checked the summary disposition box. Because this was summary disposition. Yes?
Even if Mr. Cuscard appeared at the pretrial and our motion for summary disposition, he failed to file a written response to our motion. And when we file a C10 motion, Judge, under G4, he's required to file a response and allege an issue of fact for trial, which he failed to do. So he didn't even do the first part and he didn't show up. So I would argue, Judge, that even if Mr. Cuscard appeared at the hearing that was set for motion for summary disposition, he didn't meet the requirements of G4 and raise an issue of fact for trial. So
that was
summary
I
judgment
stated
would have
that
been
earlier. You stated it more eloquently. Even if you had showed up, Mr. Cuscard, you would have lost. And you did lose because I entered a summary disposition motion. So you owe this debt. I don't have to like it, but your motion for summary disposition is denied.
Well, I got something to say. I have something to say, man.
I bet.
And
right,
all these predator collection companies, man, Your Honor, man, taking advantage of people who have no knowledge of the law.
I don't disagree that, like, things, especially in the avenue of, like, credit cards, and, like, especially these days with shit like Klarna and other, like, quick cash pay later apps, are incredibly predatory and predate upon people's lack of financial literacy. I don't disagree with that, but that's an irrelevant point in this matter. It just legally is irrelevant. That's not the point. That's not gonna help you here, man.
Now that's the real issue.
Well, I guess
I mean, societally maybe, but, like, this isn't society court. This is civil court. You owe them money.
don't have, I said, I tell you, I don't have to like.
Is Klarna shutting down? Did you hear that, or are you too hopeful? I heard they're not doing well, because as it turns out, when you start loaning money to people with sub 400 credit scores, they don't really give a shit if you, report them for not paying, because their credit score is already dog shit. So they're doing badly. I don't think they're closing quite yet, but they are in a rough financial spot because their business model is bad.
But that is what the law is. I don't just pull out of a hat.
Buying things, pennies on a
All
dollar.
right, good luck. All right. Mr. Perry, I've signed the order denying the motion to set aside default. Because it's a summary disposition is still in effect. Summary disposition stands.
Thank you.
Moving on. Oh, this one's a pretty good one, I think.
Phone started to overheat, so I had to let it rest for a minute. So they still got me.
Well, I'm trying to read the hat in the background. Make. What is the word? It's not a Make America Great Again hat. It's a Make R A R R no R A. Yeah, that's illegible. It's too far back. Sorry.
Stop. This is.
Oh, does it say make racist scared again? Okay, that's good.
Been like 28 minutes now.
I was worried he was a sovereign citizen and a Trump supporter. It's just a pastiche of the Trump hat. It's not anything actual Trump shit. That's good.
The Maryland limit is 25, so these motherfuckers is doing a lot. I gave him Supreme Court case law. I gave him the passport. Couple of.
Hey, a passport's not enough to drive. Fun fact.
I gave him the UCC one also.
Hey, Loki. Thank you.
A couple other things. So. There's literally a bunch of other shit going on right now. This is Baltimore. I'm pretty sure there's a shooting.
Is Klarna the buying on margin of today? It's a similar situation. Robinhood had problems because they were giving everyone basically margin accounts, which there's a reason you don't do that, because people are dumb.
Going on.
Like, did tech bros just think that risk management in, like, business was, like, stupid? Where they just like, oh, risk management, you boomers, you don't understand the future.
Pretty sure somebody's on the run. All that shit.
Watched Wolf of Wall Street and missed the point. A lot of dudes do. Scary. Wolf of Wall Street, Fight Club, and American Psycho are the trinity of movies that certain dude bros just do not get.
You gotta exit the car. We're towing it.
I mean, I don't consent.
Oh, yeah.
Say what you will about, oh shit, why am I blanking now? Why am I blanking? Scorsese's movie based on the book of the gangster that ended up in witness protection. It's one of the most famous gangster. Goodfellas. Say what you will about Goodfellas. I don't see a lot of dudes going around wanting to be like the guy from Goodfellas. I like Wolf of Wall Street, but goddamn, Marty, what are you doing? I don't think you understand how people perceive movies if you thought you were demonizing Jordan Belfort.
It's fine that you don't consent, but there's no airbag and the vehicle's not insured, so you're gonna have to step out of the car so we can tow it.
This is against my rights, man.
That's
I don't.
fine. You're gonna
I
have
see Robin Hood's new target is retired people. Of course it is. Don't you love living in a society where capitalism has decayed to the point that, like, it's all just like a predatory game of who you can trick into handing over money for the least amount of service or good?
have to step out of the car right now. I'm not gonna ask you again.
I don't consent, man. Y'all get ready to steal my property. I'm trying.
I don't consent! Again, just like the other guy, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
I'm not hurting anybody. I haven't caused any issue.
You can take it to the sheriff, you can take it to the marshal. But I am lawfully ordering you to exit the vehicle.
This is an unlawful order because I'm exercising my right to travel.
I'm not going to ask you again. I have 3 other troopers here with me. You're going to exit the vehicle right now.
I like to exercise my 4th Amendment right.
That's fine. You can exercise it outside the vehicle.
I like to exercise it right here.
No, sir, you're going to exit the vehicle right now. I'm not going to ask again.
I like to exercise my 4th Amendment right, sir. I haven't hurt anybody. I like to continue traveling.
That's fine. But you're gonna exit the
Might be
vehicle
that his
now.
steering wheel has no airbag. Yeah, the seats look like aftermarket replacements. Like, those don't just look like seat covers. It looks like he ripped out the original factory seats and replaced them with something else. So it's possible he like replaced the steering wheel with like a yoke or, yeah, something like that. Like a steering wheel that's like not road safe or legal.
Consent. I like to continue traveling.
You cannot consent.
No, I bet you would.
This will be slavery because I'm not consenting.
Oh boy, wait until I tell you the actual verbiage of the 13th Amendment. You're gonna be so surprised. Believe it or not, slavery when you're actually, like, convicted of a crime? Completely legal. I know he's not been convicted, but it is, you know, justice system.
With you. I don't want a contract. I'm not a slave. I'm a free American.
That's
I'm
fine.
a private American. I do not
Listen to me. We have 2 ways we can do this. You can exit the vehicle peacefully. We're going to tow the car off the highway. It's uninsured. You can get it back and you can drive it another day.
I don't want to drive at all. I want to travel.
Listen to me. The other option is I take you to jail today. I guarantee you will end up in BCDC. You'll be put before a judge, and that will take up your entire day or more.
If you
Now,
were going to
listen
arrest me, you would have to take me to see a magistrate first as per the Constitution.
Okay, sir.
Yes, a judge is a magistrate. Yeah. That's what he's said. Yes.
We can do that too. Either the magistrate, the judge, the commissioner, whatever you want.
I don't consent to that at all. I'm not hurting anybody. I haven't broken any constitutional
law. Do you want
law.
to go to jail, or do you want to be free to go after this?
I would like to continue traveling. That's what I would like to do. I don't consent to any unlawful stop, search, or seizures.
That's fine.
Yeah. And Article
Now, again,
4 of the Maryland Constitution says that the police are subordinate to the people.
Exit the vehicle, sir.
I would like to continue traveling, sir.
No, sir. Are you going to exit the vehicle, or are we going to jail today?
I would like to continue traveling. You can't do this to me under the Constitution.
Sorry, I heard a noise that I was trying. It's fine. It was just dishes.
You swore an oath to the Constitution. I think you know you did, man. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm not giving up my rights.
Exit the vehicle, you're going to go to jail.
I'm not giving up my rights, man.
So you're not going to exit the vehicle?
I like to continue traveling. I'm a free American.
Go to jail with me today.
Okay, what you would like is not a free-for-all in this situation. They gave you an ultimatum which included a certain set of options. You don't get to pick some other nebulous option. It's a multiple choice, not fill in the blank, medium, long response question.
I'm a free American. I like to continue traveling, sir. I haven't hurt anybody.
Not when you disobey my lawful orders, sir.
That isn't a lawful order because I haven't broken any land code of the Supreme Court or the Constitution. There's also a lien on this for $100 million too. So if you touch any of my property, like you already.
Does he know what a lien is? Because if he had a lien on his car for $100 million, that would mean he owes $100 million to someone. I don't think he knows what a lien is. And also, frankly, if someone put a lien on your car for $100 million, maybe just get rid of the car. I don't know. That's not worth it. Like, how do you think liens work? Like, a lien would not be placed on something that's value is significantly less than the lien. Because then the lien would effectively be worthless. You know what I mean?
Stole my plate. There's going to be a heavy lawsuit.
A heavy one. Cool.
You guys gotta turn on.
You keep bringing up this word, heavy. What's going on in the future? Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational field? Hannah, quoting movies isn't a joke, especially when you don't even quote them verbatim. I'm sorry. I don't forgive you.
What's your badge number, buddy?
Buddy?
What's your badge number?
Thought SovCit private property was unalienable.
Sigmund. Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, you hear that was my supervisor.
No, I couldn't hear.
That's fine. He said you gotta exit the car. You can talk to him after this about how upset you are. You can file a complaint.
I'm not upset at all. I understand you. I comprehend you guys aren't educated
He almost did it.
in constitutional law, but you guys took an oath to it.
That's fine. I'd love for you to educate me, but I need you to exit the car.
I can't let y'all steal my property, man. I need my property.
Listen to me. I'm not stealing.
You probably should have registered it then and, you know, kept it street legal. That usually helps.
Okay? We have two ways we can do this. I can store the car, which means it goes to the lot and it's impounded until you get it back. Listen, look at me when I talk to you, please, so I know you're understanding. The other option...
I don't understand. I comprehend.
Listen, the other...
Again, I've said this earlier, but if you have never seen me cover this before, or this is new to you, they believe that understand secretly means you stand under the authority of the police. They think that if you say you understand, or affirm that you understand, that you have signed a secret verbal contract which gives the police authority over you, as opposed to the real, you know, answer, which is the police have authority over you, because they're the police and they have the backing of the government to shoot you in certain situations. Or at minimum to arrest you. You get what I'm saying.
Other option is I can just tow it and not impound it, which means you can literally go get it back in 5 minutes, but it can't be on the roadway. So the other option is I don't put it on.
How did they get that idea? I actually don't know the origin of that specific claim. It might come from some SovCit guru. There's a decent amount of people out there that make money by, you know, spouting this nonsense and selling it to people as like a program or a script.
The impound list, and you can go get it. If you step out of the car right now, I won't impound it. Otherwise, it's going to get impounded, and it's going to be 10 times harder for you to get.
I've never seen a cop ever, like offer to not impound the vehicle, and now I've seen it twice today. That's so odd. Synchronicity.
I don't want to make your life harder, so please don't make mine harder, and please just step out of the car.
I conditionally accept your offer upon proof that you can show me.
Is this like a new policy different departments are doing or something? Because I wouldn't hate that. A lot of people can't, you know, afford impound fees, and as long as it's like a first offense, I can certainly understand waiving those fees. Like, that's not a bad thing.
Dawes versus Kent, 1958, did not say that the people...
Hey, you know where it's not the place to cite case law? At the side of the road. You're not in court. This is not the place to argue this.
People have the right to travel.
This has nothing to do with traveling, sir. This has to do with the vehicle.
This isn't a vehicle. This is an automobile.
Fine, the automobile.
They would have to pay to have it towed, though, right? I'm actually not sure. Not sure.
It has to have insurance when it's driving.
I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
Okay, sir. It was moving on the highway. Regardless.
I'm traveling.
fine. When it's traveling, it has to have insurance.
That's not what Supreme Court
Listen to me.
says, sir.
Listen.
Do you know how badly I want to jump into these goddamn videos and be like, oh yeah, what, cite it right now, cite me the case, and let's look it up together and see what it says, and I will prove to you that your reading comprehension is poor.
Are you gonna step out, and am I gonna be nice and not impound it, or am I impounding it?
I say this as someone who tests in the 99th percentile for literacy and, like, comprehension of things that you read. Most people can't read for shit, and even if they can read it, most of them don't understand it.
Putting a boot on it to where you can't get it back.
I would like to continue traveling, man. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting you. I'm not violating any constitutional law that you swore oath to. I'm not contracted with the state of Maryland. I do not accept any contracts. I just want to continue traveling so I can get to work and operate in Commerce at work. That's all I want to do. Right now, you guys are hindering me traveling to work.
That's what courts are for, right? We can figure that out.
I don't even want to go. I don't got time to go to court. I got to
You're
work.
gonna have to go to court already. So the option is you step out of the car, I don't impound it, and you're going to be free to go after this.
The majority of this country's literacy is equivalent of a 6th grade level. No. It's the equivalent or lower of a 6th grade level. Equivalent or lower.
Or
we're doing great.
I take you to...
I had the same level of reading comprehension as most American adults in 1st grade. In 1st grade, I tested at a 5th grade reading level.
Jail.
I'm tired, chat. I'm so tired.
Impound the car and you can't get it back.
I like to continue traveling, sir. That's all I want to do.
I'm telling you, that's not an option.
I like to exercise my 4th Amendment right.
Is that your final offer?
I like to exercise my 4th Amendment right.
Some more officers out here, and we're going to take you out of the car. How does that sound?
I like to exercise my 4th Amendment, and I think you took an oath to it. So I don't think you want to violate your oath. I would like to continue traveling and exercise my 4th Amendment. I don't want any more troopers.
People will get you out of the car, okay?
I would like to exercise my 4th Amendment right. Trying to steal my goddamn automobile.
They're trying to take your automobile that you are illegally operating on public roadways without a license, insurance, and potentially equipment violations. Which one is the 4th Amendment? You're right against unreasonable search and seizure. Sovereign citizens, unfortunately, forget the unreasonable part in there and just think they have a right to protect them against any search and seizure, which obviously isn't the case. Or they just never assume it's reasonable in their situation.
18 United States Code Title 242, deprivation of rights under color of law.
Could you not put that in your mouth if you're gonna hand that to them? I don't think he wants you to put that in your mouth if you're gonna hand that to him. Why is it in your mouth? I'm legit confused. Take it out of your mouth, nasty.
Stepping out? Are you stepping out of the car?
Is the idea that he thinks he's about to be pulled out of the car and arrested, so he wants it in his mouth? That's certainly a strategy.
I'd like to exercise my First Amendment. You can give me my information back, please.
I'll give it back out here. Step outside the car. I'll give you this information.
You can just put it right here through the window, sir. I'm going to protect my Fourth Amendment.
Okay, sir, you need to get out of the car. This is not a request, even if it's phrased as such.
Amendment right. You're a good police officer, all right? I know you. I can see it in your eyes.
This weird I've seen this video, at least parts of it. The manipulation he attempts to do here is so funny. It's funny when you can tell someone either is manipulative in their life, but they're maybe surrounded by dumb people, so like their manipulative tactics maybe work even though they're like rudimentary at best, or they're just delusional about the level of manipulation they're capable of. Either way, the dog shit manipulation he attempts to do here is fucking hilarious. Listen to this.
please.
I'll give it back out here. Step outside the car. I'll give you this information.
You can just put it right here through the window, sir. I'm gonna protect my Fourth Amendment right. You're a good police officer, all right? I know you. I can see it in your eyes. You just said you were. Okay, you're a good trooper. I can see it in your eyes. I know you want to uphold your oath. Somebody's telling you to do this, all right?
Sir, here's your passport.
Like, does he, like, in his day-to-day life, is he able to manipulate people with such obvious faux flattery? Like, how bizarre. Like, this would work on Donald Trump or someone as narcissistic as him, maybe, but, like, not most people. You gotta be better than that.
Card. I wrote 17, listen to me.
I'm listening. Yeah, you got my attention.
3 of them are must appear to carry jail time. You're gonna have to go to court for them. The other ones are payable. You can pay them, go to court, set up for a payment plan, or go to court guilty or not guilty. There's also gonna be an application for charges for failure to obey a lawful order. You're gonna get a warrant for your arrest if you don't come to court when requested to do so. You can take those. You are not free to go. You cannot drive. You cannot travel. If you do so again, you may be subject to arrest.
Can I need my plate back too. Y'all stole my plate.
That's being seized as evidence. You're not getting that back.
That's a fake plate.
So you're stealing my property then?
No, they're seizing evidence in an active investigation. That's a fraudulent plate. It's illegal.
All right, I don't accept the ticket. I don't accept any contracts.
I don't accept the ticket. Are you familiar with the term bench warrant?
I don't accept.
I know you won't take it, but that way it's affixed to your vehicle, so you have it.
He put all the tickets and stuff outside my automobile.
Okay.
Am I correct in assuming you are no longer a U.S. citizen?
I'm a national, sir.
This is stupid to do. I've said this before. Now, in fairness, this video is a little older, but sovereign citizens still do this where, look, they will claim to not be citizens. To be clear, they are citizens, but they don't understand what any of these terms mean, so they think if they say I'm not a citizen, then laws don't apply to them. Which, fun fact, the opposite is true. Laws do apply to you. The only thing that apparently the US government thinks don't apply are human rights. So telling the police that you're not a US citizen is just about the dumbest thing you can do.
Passport ID cards for U.S. citizens.
No. I'm a national. I am a national. You stole my passport card too.
What's that look into the camera? You think you're fucking Jim? No. Bitch, you're Michael. Alright, I have to use the bathroom again. Sorry, I finished some Coke Zero, so it's going through me. While I'm gone, Chair will tell you about, Android Kikaider. Bear back.
Stole my passport card too. I don't consent.
Yeah, that'll do it. Shout I don't consent it about the window on the highway. Galaxy brain.
I don't consent. Give me that back.
Correct, Harold Edelman.
He just took my passport card too. Stole my passport card. Nasty motherfuckers. I tell you, he tried to steal my automobile. Took the fucking passport card I got a lien on. This is gonna be nasty, alright?
Uh-huh. Stop burping in the camera, you nasty. I used to do that shit before I transitioned too. Why do men think it's okay to just fucking into the fucking microphone? You nasty bitch. Fucking stop it.
Tried to force me to take some citations and left me a fucking state trooper police.
At least my excuse is it was a mask. What's his excuse? He's just disgusting.
Officer shit, whatever the hell this thing is. I don't want none of this shit. Stole my license plate. They crazy out here, man. Listen, I haven't been pulled over in a long ass time. All right? I haven't been pulled over in a long ass time. This is coercion. This is threat. This is a lot of fucking violations right here. I need that passport card, though.
I'm sure you feel that that's the case, sir.
Talking about I'm not a U.S. I'm a national, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guy. Would you like to say hello to the chat? He says no. Maybe I'm crazy, but he's into sovereign citizen stuff, and he's got one of those copper water bottles. I'm guessing the copper is not just an aesthetic thing. I'm gonna make a call here and say he's probably into alt health bullshit too. Yeah, see the fucking copper water bottle? That's a thing woo-woo health people are into. Alt health shit. After this video, by the way, we will do the titular video about the guy prank calling the police while he has a warrant. Don't do that.
ID card.
I just need my card.
H. Baird, thanks so much for 53 months of subscription. Says, forget alt health. I want control health. I will delete health.
I need my license plate and my card so I can go, buddy. That's all I need.
What's on your U.S. passport?
Continually trying to assert dominance in the situation. Men are weird. Stop it. Get help.
Passport ID card.
What do you mean?
What's that name on the card?
That's in all caps, ens legis, legal fiction.
So are you a U.S. citizen?
I'm a national.
Okay, so you are possessing a federal document that identifies you as a U.S. citizen.
I'm a national.
Oh shit! They think he's... Oh no! They might think his pet... Oh no! See, this is what I'm talking about. You're making the situation confusing. You are telling them you're not a citizen, but you have a passport card that says you're a citizen. So as far as they are thinking right now, they probably think you have a fraudulent passport, which would be like a federal felony. That would be a big fucking deal. Like, that would be a problem. Now, I don't think that's what's happening here. I think he really probably has a real passport card because he's a citizen, so he probably really has that. But they think it's fraudulent because he's being very confusing from a normal point of view.
So
you know what the U.S.
return to the federal government. You don't get that back.
Do you know what the U.S. nationals are?
Yes.
That is covered in the Constitution. It's actually in the DS-11 form. You want me to show it to you? I got it right here.
Not.
Sir, you don't need the DS-11. You need the DSM.
I don't need to look.
pretty good.
Your forms.
You seem really intelligent, so you know what a national
You know what
is.
provost marshal is.
I know you're intelligent, and I know I need my ID card, and you sound like you know what you're talking about, but I know what a national is.
You can get your ID card back from the federal government when you can prove you've no longer renounced your U.S. citizenship.
I'm a national, sir.
Okay.
Hey, these niggas, I've been here for almost a fucking hour. I'm late to work.
Whose fault is that? Yours! Your fault you're late to work!
They trying everything, yo. They trying every motherfucking thing. Everything under the sun to try to get me the contract.
Back when you prove the federal government you haven't renounced your U.S. citizenship.
I'm a national. I told you this, man. I'm a national.
Over that.
Yeah.
Also, you can't drive away because you're uninsured.
I'm not driving. I'm traveling. I just
Yo, that'll work.
need my plate and I need my card so I can.
You are not getting either. You're lucky they're not arresting you.
Between a right and a privilege, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Driving is a privilege. If I was driving, y'all would have me nailed to the wall.
Traveling is a right.
I'm so sad and frustrated for our species.
Right.
Yeah.
Your right to travel will not be infringed. However, your right to drive in a car is not permitted.
In a vehicle, yes.
If you want, you can get out and walk towards liberty and keep traveling.
I would like to travel right here, as per this right here. This is what the driver.
Okay, you're incorrect. Get out of the goddamn car.
I can't see that. You're gonna have to hand it out to me.
Okay.
I need the whole binder, please.
This is good. Oh shoot. Hey, you don't need that. This is what a driver is right here. I'm at a
Chitara says, they're saying everything under the sun to get me to contract. These guys always talk about law enforcement and the legal system as if they're devils trying to make a deal or fae trying to catch them on some sort of word trap. That's how they imagine it, so you're not off base. That's pretty, like, apt for how they think about the system.
employed. I'm not operating
exit the
commerce.
vehicle and walk down to Liberty. But you will not be driving, understand?
Absolutely. I don't understand, though.
Can we just arrest this guy now? Like, this is fully my id talking. Fuck this guy, arrest him. I personally don't like him. But the superego says no. They're just ignorant. Have some empathy, Hannah. And then my ego just says, I don't know, just make jokes about it or something.
They are. They know they dead wrong.
Nope!
They know they dead wrong, bro. That's why they ain't told my shit. They had a tow truck right in front of the fucking car. They know they wrong, man. Late for work, god damn it. Oh, it's good. This is gonna be it's gonna be nasty right here. This is gonna be this is gonna be nasty. Bunch of fucking tickets and shit.
Beltwind says, I know the UK has some amount of SovCits, but it seems to be primarily an American thing. I wonder if there are similar phenomenons in other places. Oh yeah, basically all the Commonwealth countries have it. It got exported from the US to Canada, the UK, Australia. There's some in Germany, which isn't a Commonwealth country, but it is one that they exist in. In Commonwealth countries, they're often referred to as freemen on the land, as opposed to sovereign citizens, but it's the same thing, more or less. Canada, they still quote the UCC. Yeah, they do that a lot. Even outside of the US, they'll quote US law. I've seen US sovereign citizens quote the fucking Magna Carta or the Articles of Confederation.
I just want my ID card and my plate so I can go.
You cannot have either, and you are not allowed to use your vehicle.
You renounced your U.S. citizenship.
I'm a national. It is on the DS-11 form, U.S. nationals and U.S. citizens.
Are you renouncing?
I am a national. I am not a U.S. citizen. It says right on the DS-11 form, if you are a national or a U.S. citizen, you can get a passport and a passport card. That's how I got it.
But you said you renounced your U.S. citizenship.
I'm an American, sir. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm not chattel slavery property. Okay, I'm a free American. That's why I'm protected by the Bill of Rights.
Why did he pronounce chattel like that? Is it literally just he's never heard the word chattel before, so he read it as chattel, and he doesn't know that's not how it's pronounced?
I just want my card back, and I just want my plate that I created so I can go. That's all I want.
He should have looked it up in the encyclopedia.
Registration document carries up to a year in jail. So
that plate is not even registered with the state of Maryland, so y'all don't have jurisdiction to even take it. That is
Maybe an accent? No, his accent would not cause him to pronounce it that way.
my personal property. Okay, I want it back so I can continue traveling. So you're keeping my personal property. I don't even want the side. I'm not accepting the contracts, man.
Come to court, a warrant will be issued for your arrest.
But I'm not accepting the
says,
contract.
what I love is that U.S. people will cite the Magna Carta, a document that's not even relevant in the U.K. where it was signed. Bold of you to assume most people in America even know what the Magna Carta is.
I just want my card back, sir. Give me my card and my plate, please. That's all
The
I
Magna
want.
Carta was basically a bunch of barons got together and they were like, hey, maybe the king shouldn't have so much power. Maybe we should have some of the power instead. So they forced the king to sign it. And then he went to the Pope and he was like, Pope, they're trying to take my power away. And the Pope was like, oh, they're not allowed to do that. And then they rescinded it in a very short period of time. And that's the story of the original Magna Carta. The end.
You're gonna keep my property. Is that what you're saying?
The Magna Carta is famous for being the first attempt at taking power away from the monarch in, like, the Western world. It was not successful long term.
So you're violating my Fourth Amendment?
Well, I have probable cause to do so, so I'm not violating it.
Oh, you definitely are. It says in the Fourth Amendment, I have the right to my freedom and papers. So I need that back so I can go.
As a summary, that was pretty good. Well done, Hannah. Thank Mooncat. She did a really great summary, and I'm basically cribbing from her summary.
Please
I was aware of it prior to that, but she said it very succinctly, so full credit to Mooncat for that one.
give me my stuff so I can go, man. We've been here for almost an hour.
Speaking of which, Mooncat has a great Sovereign Citizen video, so check it out if you haven't already.
Late to work. I might get fired over this.
Man, get out of the car for me.
Huh? What you say? He got my car in his hand.
Staring in the
You're gonna have to come to court. You know that, right?
No, I don't want to, man. I just want.
If you don't come to court, then a warrant's be issued for your arrest. I'm gonna knock on your door and arrest you.
You can't issue a warrant for my arrest because I'm not a legal fiction. I'm a man. Can I have my plate back, please?
You're not getting the plate back.
Why are you stealing my plate, man?
It's contraband.
Huh?
Other than you're free to go for the
Fuck you! Sorry. Sorry. Overconfident dickbags upset me.
interaction, but you can't drive or travel or move the vehicle in any way.
So you violate my right to travel?
No, you can walk. You just can't drive.
I can travel how I see fit.
You're gonna go to jail if you do.
These motherfuckers, bro. These motherfuckers, bro. These motherfuckers, bro. These motherfuckers.
What if you were the motherfucker in this scenario and you didn't even know?
These motherfuckers, bro. I'm telling you, bro. These motherfuckers, they're crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy. There's no other explanation. I think it pisses me off because, like, a lot of the world's problems, not all of them, maybe not even most of them, but a lot of the world's problems are caused by overconfident dickbag narcissists refusing to listen to anyone that doesn't agree with them. And I think it's pretty self-evident why that's a fucking problem.
Alright, well, he turned his lights off, so I ain't moving from this motherfucker till he get the fuck out of here, though.
Okay, well, you just admitted that you're gonna commit a crime when he's no longer around, so that's cool.
Gonna get me like that.
What a dummy. His most recent video was 8 months ago, and he was still doing the right to travel shit.
What's going on? Very carefully. Also, I watched a very good right to travel video today.
It's not a real MAGA cap, it's a cap that says make racists scared again.
It is just absolutely astounding how well people are starting to grasp this information. I tell you, man, it is lovely to see people exercising their rights, standing on supreme case law, which is the law that they have to abide by and they can't overstep or else they're liable. Bonds can be liable and things of that nature. It's a marvelous day, man, where we really got people standing up for their rights. It is fantastic.
All right, let's check out the titular video. The gentleman who decides it's a good idea to prank call the police about the warrant he has open. Now, to be clear, so you're not disappointed, it's not like he gets arrested at the end of this video. He did this 3 days ago. But I'm gonna imagine if you have an open warrant and intentionally call the police station and antagonize them, even if your warrant was a little low priority for them, you might move up in the queue. You know what I mean? So this is sort of a potential part 1 situation. Bravo Needs Bacon with $1 tip says, you know what keeps from doing stupid things like this? Jail! Alright, we have an hour left, a little under an hour left, so I'll do my calls to action one more time. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like the stream. I really appreciate it. It helps new people find the channel and the algorithm likes it. Also, leave a comment if you have anything to say. And if you want to help support the channel, you can become a member on YouTube, Super Chat, or on Twitch. Become a subscriber, gift subs, or bits. Alright, I'll shut the fuck up about that stuff now. And watch this guy make poor life decisions. Why does his hat have a belt? They're headphones. They're like the headphones, but he has them kind of on sideways. Not sure why.
Your business who I am. Hello, I've heard that Monroe County may possibly have a warrant for me.
Okay, are you available to come in?
Well, no, I'm not gonna just come turn myself
This guy is like a known auditor, by the way. This is Big Mike Audits.
in,
I'm not actually sure what his warrant is for, by the way.
but I want to make sure. I want to find out if it's even real.
Okay, well, we can't verify warrants over the phone. We're not going to verify if you have a warrant over the phone.
Oh, I already know I have the warrant. I just want to know how far you guys will come. That's all I really want to know. Brooke, come on, Brooke. Please.
Sir, I'm not going to do that.
Man, Brooke.
I'm so curious what the edits were. Probably shit that made him look stupid.
Brooke.
Like, the whole thing makes him look not great, but I assume those portions were really not flattering to him to the extent that even he recognized it, thus the edits. I could be wrong.
Anything else that I can help you with? Great night.
Yeah, just one more thing. I just want you guys to want me like you want everybody else. And I want to be wanted. And I want you to come get me. I just want to know how close I have to get. Please.
Does he think if you put on Groucho Marx glasses, it's immediately funny? The thing about Groucho Marx was he was incredibly funny. The glasses and the mustache don't do it on their own.
Pick me up. Old child support warrant.
Oh, it's a child support warrant. So he's a scumbag. Good to know.
Found out I have.
Duck Soup still holds up as a film. A lot of the Marx Brothers films do. Very funny, especially when they were doing like full-on satire of stuff like the government in Duck Soup. Great. Really good stuff.
Old child support warrant from 2019 for $1,500.
I would never want to be a member of a club where they allow me as... Oh no, I fucked it up already. Sorry, Groucho, R.I.P.
And Monroe County won't come across the Mackinac
I would never want to be a part of an association that would have me as a member.
Bridge to pick me up. Monroe County won't come across the Mackinac Bridge to pick me up.
Oh boy, so he's in Michigan. Great. Love that. Love that for us.
Thank God. Such a pain in the ass. I called.
Yeah, I did notice. Okay, so like a Groucho Marx, Groucho Marx glasses, normally the mustache is wider than the one that he's currently wearing, because Groucho Marx wasn't, it's like he's wearing Groucho Marx glasses, but instead of a Groucho Marx mustache, it's got like a Charlie Chaplin mustache. And that would be the, generous interpretation.
Called these people and talked to them too when my son first moved up here with me, and I called them and let him know that he's living here. He ended up he moved up here when he turned 13 with me, and he graduated school and everything, and now he's in college and he doesn't live with me anymore. But
yeah, he definitely cut that. Looking at that, he did not just find one that looked like that. He literally bought a Groucho Marx mustache and intentionally cut parts of it. Wow. Wow. What a guy.
I don't know if they ever quit charging me the child support or what the hell they did, but there's a warrant for $1,500 of child support. My son's 22 now. So, but
are you under the impression that the warrant's gonna go away? Like, if you get pulled over for anything and they check, you're gonna get arrested. Just a peach with the dollar tips as I talked to my dad, 77, early today. He's just finishing fixing his basement rooms up for my sister and her family to move in on Saturday. I hope they appreciate all the hard work. I hope so too.
Thinking about calling the county and my child support.
Does the relatively liberal legislative trend in Michigan radicalize the chuds and crazies? You gotta understand that Michigan is like... This is true of a lot of places in America. There's the urban areas that are, people live in and, society exists. And then there's like Western Michigan where it's like rural and everyone's a dipshit. I'm assuming he's from that area. Northern Michigan, too, has its share of militia types, let's say.
Warrant is and see how far that warrant extends and maybe find out why they won't come and get me. You know what I mean? I want to be wanted too. You know what I'm saying? I want to be wanted. Our mission statement. Gosh, respect the constitutional rights of all people. Oh shit. You already know you've been lied to right there. Man, they start their mission statement out with a lie. Claudette with $1.99.
Booking, release, bond, jail information, press 1. All information on inmates housed at the dormitory facility, registered work program, or to speak.
What do I think his BAC is now? Not 0. In fairness, he's in Michigan, and... how do I put this? A lot of people in Michigan are functional alcoholics. The others are non-functional. Heyo.
Inmate medical services, press 5. Inmate medical billing, press 6.
No.
Jail shift supervisor, press 7. Inmate transport and court record information, press 8. Jail administration, press 9. All other information, press 0 or stay on the line.
We'll just stay on the line. William L. with $2. We'll just stay on the line.
One moment, please.
Would I rather have this guy or the guy that ordered not to make videos for a year after creeping on that lady cop in your state? This guy. Glenn's a whole other level. We also know for a fact Glenn does not wash his hands after using the bathroom, and that's gross.
Monroe County Jail, C. Humphrey.
Hello, I just want to let you know this phone call is being recorded for public safety and quality insurance.
Quality insurance. Does he think, is he making, I can't tell, is he making a joke or does he really think the phrase is quality insurance and not assurance? Oh.
All right.
Any word from Betty? I just stopped covering her because she's not doing anything that interesting, and I think we saw everything there is to see from Betty. At a certain point, it just feels like bullying.
I kind of got a question. I think I have a warrant with Monroe County, and I'm trying to find out if I do.
That would not be my area to find out for you.
Who would I contact?
Well, who are you?
Who? Are you? That's irrelevant at this. Well, my name's Michael.
Okay. I already told you my name.
Yeah, either way, my name's Michael.
Okay.
So, like, who could I ask? Is there like a cop I can call, or is there somebody you can? Is
And maybe they can help you there.
you can transfer me to records?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good start.
Okay.
All right,
Hold on.
thank you. Heart's running like 90 miles a minute right now.
You know you don't have to do this, right? No one's making you do this.
She's like, well, who are you? First thing is for me to get defensive. Somebody asks you who I am. None of your business.
Why is this man wearing a landmine? He's got to protect himself from that crazy liberal book learning from getting into his brain.
None of your business who I am. Hello, I've heard that Monroe County may possibly have a warrant for me.
Okay. Are you available to come in?
Well, no, I'm not gonna just come turn myself in. But I want to make sure, I want to find out if it's even real.
Okay, well, we can't verify warrants over the phone.
Well, you can't verify warrants over the phone.
We cannot verify warrants over the phone.
So I'd have to go like turn myself into a jail somewhere and then have them run me.
You would need to come in with your ID so we can let you know if you have a warrant or not yet.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I want you guys to come get me. See, I live a long ways away. And I'm not driving to turn myself in.
Don't you mean traveling?
You know what I'm saying? But I'm willing to turn myself in if you come get me, I guess.
Okay, so
How far do like warrants go?
it all matters on what the charge is.
Well, give me some examples.
Well, if it's a felony, it can be a statewide pickup.
Okay. So like what kind of felonies?
It all matters. If most felonies are statewide pickups.
Okay, yeah.
Misdemeanors are 100-mile pickups.
Oh, misdemeanors are like Monroe only go like 100 miles for a misdemeanor.
Sometimes, yeah.
So that'd be like the next county over.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. What about like, say someone had a child support warrant? Hypothetically.
It matters.
He's so proud to have not paid child support. Like, why is he like this? Why would anyone be like this? Oh, he's going outside in the Adolf Marx glasses. Oh boy.
What the child support warrant was and for how much and what the judge decided on.
Oh, so what if it was only like $1,500?
I don't know. I'm not looking at the warrant.
Oh, well, why don't you look at the warrant?
I can't look at the warrant.
I could tell you the name.
Sir, I'm not telling you if you have...
This guy scares me. Like, jokes aside, people like this are scary. Like, he thinks this is funny. Like, he thinks harassing people and fucking with them and flaunting the fact that he didn't pay child support, he thinks it's funny? Like, what's wrong with this man? Jesus Christ, go to therapy.
You have a warrant or not.
Why not? That helped me. You help me and I help you. We help each other. You know what I mean?
I cannot tell you if you have a warrant or not.
Oh, so it's set up so it's like a surprise, so I gotta guess how close I can get to Monroe County without them coming to get me or something.
Sir, you can either come to the jail
Oh yeah, that's
and
not.
let us run you.
You all are very nice there, but that you ain't running me for nothing. I'm not turning myself in.
Okay. Well, we're not going to verify if you have a warrant over the phone.
Oh, I already know I have the warrant. I just want to know how far you guys will come. That's all I really want to know. I'll be honest with you.
Well, we're not going to tell you how far we're going to come to get you.
Gee, I wonder why he and his baby mama aren't together anymore. He's such a nice guy that I'm sure was very easy to live with.
Oh man, so it's like a guessing game. You know,
Get pulled over and then they'll figure out if we'll come and pick you up or not.
oh, I know you won't come get me where I'm at. All right, I know that much. So I found that out a couple weeks ago on accident. That's why I'm kind of curious now at this point. I'm not mean to laugh at you, but I find it kind of humorous because it's for $1,500 for old child support warrant.
Why are you acting as though that's no money? Even now, $1,500 is not nothing. Like, I don't care if it's $1. You owed that child support, you fucking loser. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And my son lived with me from the time he was 13 till the time he's graduated, and he's 22 now. And you know what I mean? So really, his mom should have been paying me, but I didn't get nothing, and they just...
Sir, this is not the place for you to, like, shit out all your weird grievances. That would have been a legal issue to settle at the time, but you clearly didn't, because you're probably lying, or maybe not even lying just to us. Maybe you're lying to yourself. I don't know, but either way, what are you talking about?
You know, and then it just stopped at $1,500 because I always paid my child support up until then. So
up until then, so you stopped. If the situation changed, you should have gotten a lawyer and filed the appropriate paperwork and had a hearing to change the child custody agreement, including support. If you don't do that, of course they're not going to change it because you didn't have a hearing.
Just want to know how close...
You didn't prove to the court that the situation had changed.
Close can I get to home if I want to see my son without you guys coming to get me?
I would hope that the mother of your child would call the cops if you came within any distance that's, like, anywhere close, because you seem like a scary asshole.
So why don't you just pay the $1,500?
Because I'm poor. Loan me $1,500.
Wait, earlier you were acting like it was nothing. You were like, it was only $1,500, and now you're poor?
Honestly, if I had $1,500, I would pay that shit. Truth be told, just not to have the monkey on my back. But I don't have $1,500. Truth be told, if I had $1,500, I'd go buy another beater with a heater because the one I had died. So that's another reason I'm not coming down there, because I don't even have a car to drive down there. You know what I mean? So I just want to know.
What else I can help you with, sir?
Man, it'd really help me if you'd like check it out. Let me know how far you guys would come. I mean, human to human.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not gonna break.
That would require you to be a human being, and right now I'm not getting the vibe. That's a joke. Don't deperson people.
For you.
Oh, who will you break the rules for? Because I know Mineral County breaks a lot of rules. Let's be honest now.
Right.
I'm
really sad to see Beavis all grown up and still acting like a dipshit.
I mean, if not for me, then who? Pretend I'm one of the people you do break the rules for.
Sir, I'm not gonna break the rules.
Oh, come on. Just this once. I won't tell nobody. It'll be just between me and you. I promise.
Sir, is there anything else I can
Someone might want to check this guy's PC. I'm just getting vibes.
help you with today?
Man, that would really help.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
What's your name again?
My name is Brooke.
Brooke. Come on, Brooke. Please.
Sir, I'm not gonna do that.
Man, Brooke.
If there's anything else that I can help you with,
Just,
great night.
yeah, just one more thing. I just want you guys to want me like you want everybody else. And I want to be wanted. And I want you to come get me. I just want to know how close I have to get. Maybe I'll meet you guys in the middle if I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you just come to Monroe County then?
This is like an 8-hour drive.
Oh, then you're not very close.
No, that's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? You guys don't come across the bridge anymore. And I don't have a felony. Will you guys like come to the bridge? So I was like to go to the other side of the bridge. Or do I have to come down to like Gaylord or, you know what I mean? Detroit, you know, trying to get that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I might be able to make it to Gaylord and then I could call you guys and you could come get me or I could turn myself in there. You know what I'm saying? We might be able to work something out because I bet you if I made it to court, the judge would probably just throw it all away in the end anyways.
See, I don't even think that you know what I'm saying sounds threatening. I think it just makes him sound really ignorant. Like, it's like a weird vacuous statement, and it's like, no, articulate what you're trying to say. If you just constantly say, you know what I'm saying, no, I don't. Articulate your thoughts like an adult.
Because my son lived with me for the last 10 years, not his mom. That'd help the family out. I mean, you could help a family out. You don't want to help a family?
I can't help you unless I see the warrant, and I'm not going to see the warrant unless you come in. If there's nothing else I can help you with, we're going to be disconnected.
Oh, don't disconnect. That'd be rude.
I hope you have a good night, sir.
Man, I'd have a much better night if you'd help me. Please. Oh, shit. All right. They won't fucking tell me. I tried. I forgot. Got caught up in the moment. I should have had these on the whole freaking time.
Is he aware that a prop on its own isn't funny? A prop is a tool. Just putting it on isn't a joke. You need to do something with it. It's not just funny to wear Groucho Marx glasses. You can do something well in them, but you were just an asshole, so the glasses didn't do anything except make you look like a douche.
Anxiety kills, man. Talk about want to have a heart attack. That's good stuff, though, right?
What was the point of all that? Belittling and mocking another person for doing their job to make him feel better about what a scumbag he is?
Was that good content? Man, these people. They won't tell me. I just want to know. I should have. Maybe Mackinac County will tell me. Why didn't I ask them how far? See, Mackinac County, they know they won't come get me, so they won't muck with me. So I'd have to go to one of the next counties over and maybe have them arrest me to find out they won't come get me. Or hopefully she don't know my last name, so she can't be like, we need to crank up the mileage we'll go to get this asshole. You know what I mean? Bro could do anything to see me at this point, I bet. That's good stuff in Monroe County. Maybe we'll have to try this again another day. You know what I mean? That was a good time. William L. with the 5, man. Allie Bell with the 999. Claudette with the 999. Holy shit, we just having a party. Allie Bell with the 999. William L. with the 10.
There you go. That's why he's doing it, because other douchebags on the internet are giving him money in order to harass people doing their job. Don't you love humanity? Aren't our perverse incentive structures so fucking cool?
Claudette with a 999. Man, I can't count this freaking high. We got another $1.99, a $2.90, or a $2, $1.99. Man, you guys killed it. I hope that was good entertainment for you, because that was pretty funny. I thought it was funny as fuck. Man.
I'm genuinely fucking disgusted.
Funny shit. I better hit this again. Yeah, I'm gonna end this here. That was Monroe County. I'm Big Mike Audits. We just did a phone audit.
Baha asked, "Oh God, what did you comment?" I just commented the word loser.
Warrant, I guess. Right.
I'm sure he'll ban me immediately. I had to write what I felt, so I just typed loser into his comments.
Is that what we did? I think it was. I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm gonna end it right now. Peace.
Douchebag. All right, moving on.
Channel, it's me, Chris Brooks. I hope everyone's well today. So today I would like to dive into a subject that touches all of us. Bills and demands for payment. And a very specific piece of law that might just change how you look at them. You know, we've all received what appears to be bills through the letterbox. Your mobile phone, council tax, electricity, water, credit card repayments. But here's the thing that many people aren't aware of. Many of these so-called bills don't actually meet the legal definition of a bill of exchange. Let me explain. In the UK, the law that governs this area...
Motherfucker, it's an invoice.
is the Bills of Exchange Act 1882.
I promise whatever you're about to say has no bearing on whether or not you owe debts to organizations, to the power company, to whoever.
Australia, it's the Bills of Exchange Act 1909, which is almost identical in its wording. The key section is section 3.1 of the UK Act, which reads, "A bill of exchange is an unconditional order in writing, addressed by one person to another, signed by the person giving it, requiring the person to whom it is addressed to pay on demand or at a fixed or determinable future time a sum certain in money to or to the order of a specified person or to the bearer." Crikey, I won't tell you how many attempts that took.
Are you serious? Are you illiterate? What the fuck are you talking about? A bill of exchange is an unconditional order in writing addressed by one person to another, signed by the person giving it, requiring the person to whom it is addressed to pay on demand or at a fixed or determinable future time a sum certain in money to or to the order of a specified person or to bearer. Are you illiterate? God damn it. That took so many times!
Right person or to the bearer. Crikey, I won't tell you how many attempts that took.
No, tell me! I'm very curious! Please tell me! How many did it take you? How many did it take you to read that? Come on! Read a book! Read a book! Oh my fuck!
Now let's break this down into plain English.
Bills of exchange legal are different from bills colloquial. Yeah. He's completely misunderstanding it, as most sovereign citizens do when they try to read the law.
To be a valid bill of exchange, a document must be an unconditional order to pay, Not a request, not a suggestion, but a command. 2.
Okay, try not to pay it. They'll take you to court. And you know what? They'll get that done for you.
It must be in writing, not verbal or implied. 3. Must be addressed from one person to another person.
And that was a public service announcement from Hannah. Read a book. Fucking Lord Greystoke learned how to read, and he couldn't even speak English, and he did it alone in a treehouse.
That the issuer is telling a specific person or party to pay. 4. Must be signed by the person giving it.
In fairness, he also killed his gorilla dad, so maybe he's kind of a dick. Sorry, not gorilla, bull ape.
This is a critical part. 5. Require a payment on demand.
I'm reading Tarzan.
Or at a fixed or determinable future time. 6. It has to be for a specific amount of money. 7. Be payable to a
Lord Greystoke is Tarzan's real name, if you aren't familiar.
Specific person, their order or bearer. Even if one of those conditions is missing, and only one of those conditions is missing, it is not a valid bill of exchange under the Act. So here's the big question. When you receive a utility bill, is it signed by the individual issuing the demand? Usually, no, it's not.
Dude, it's literally just them telling you, hey, you owe us money, and the implicit understanding is if you don't pay us this money that you definitely owe us, we're gonna sue you because that's how life works.
There's often a company logo, a barcode, and some printed text, but very, very rarely, if ever, is there a wet ink signature or even a digital signature from the person issuing the demand. So no actual authorization from anybody. And that's the issue. Under the Act, a valid bill of exchange must be signed by the person issuing the demand. The Act isn't referring to an impersonal system printout. It's talking about a personal and accountable act. One human giving another human a written signed order. And this is where it gets interesting.
Why are they so horny for wet ink? Because it's an obscure, antiquated law that they found that they think absolves them of their responsibilities.
If a company sends you an unsigned demand for money, then legally it may not even qualify as a bill of exchange.
It's not a bill of exchange! It's literally an invoice! It's just them being like, hey, heads up! You owe us this!
It may only be a statement of account, or at most a request for payment, but not a legally enforceable instrument under this Act. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't owe the money. There are other laws such as contract law, consumer credit regulations, but it does mean that you should question the legal standing of the document itself. Especially,
like, does he just think it's better to drag every single debt you owe into court? It's just going to make everything more expensive because they're still going to rule against you, and then you're going to also potentially incur court costs, which is going to add on to what you already owe.
if somebody tries to treat it as a negotiable instrument. You see, a bill of exchange can be used like a cheque, something that can be endorsed, transferred, or enforced through legal channels. If it's not valid under that Act, then it lacks those powers. It's not negotiable in the same way. Now, this is particularly relevant when dealing with debt collectors or institutions who claim that you are in default based on a so-called bill. And so if it hasn't been correctly issued and signed under the terms of the Bills of Exchange Act, you have the right to question its legitimacy. So what can you do? Ask for a copy of the original signed bill, ask who the issuer is and whether they have personally signed and issued the bill. If the document doesn't meet the legal requirements, consider stating that it is merely a statement of account, not
Consider paying the bills you owe, you goddamn deadbeat loser.
Not a valid bill of exchange. This isn't about avoiding legitimate obligations. It's about understanding your legal rights, especially in a world where automation and faceless systems produced hundreds and millions of documents that look official, but may not have the legal substance behind them. So in conclusion, not every document demanding money is a bill of exchange, even if it looks like one. The law is quite clear.
It doesn't need to be a bill of exchange for you to owe money to someone. You entered into some sort of agreement with them, whether it was the power company or the water company or a credit card company, whatever it is, you entered into agreement with them when when you started procuring their services or goods. That's the agreement. It's a fucking transaction. Like, how is this hard to understand?
Qualifies, and if it's unsigned by the issuer, it doesn't qualify. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has helped you think a little bit more critically the next time a so-called bills of exchange comes through you.
Nerdy says he's more stuck in the past than the British Parliament, and they insist on talking about bills in Latin. The fact that the House of Lords is still a thing confounds me. Like, I kind of understand that the monarchy still exists because, frankly, it has very little to virtually no power, and it's just kind of like a thing. But, like, the House of Lords actually affects your goddamn lives, and you're, like, cool with it? That, like, there's just this part of your government that's, like, not merit or like, vote-based at all. It's just like, I don't know, their families are rich, historically. That's it. You're cool with that? Whatever.
Look after yourselves. Enjoy your day. And
be like America and just have the oligarchy rule from the shadows. Obviously, that's more civilized.
I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
I say that like they're in the shadows currently. Elon kind of fucked that, but whatever.
Hello, good men, women, sons, and daughters. This is Kata Spinda with One New Earth, and welcome to my live restream show. I always appreciate every single one of you that join me each Sunday. I try to make it consistent. Usually Thursdays and Sundays are my definitely go-to days, and then I'm starting with my Awake Friday.
Well, that's good that they can't block anything.
So those
it's
are
still
gonna be
ridiculous that any amount of them exist,
well,
that
I'm
it's
gonna be
based on
bringing
heredity,
somebody
and
on
I know
new. We're
someone
gonna
else
be
says it's mostly not that at this point, which is good. I'm glad you informed me of that.
Talking about Awake stuff. And
Also Done Dying says, I would like to point out that the House of Lords have shut down anti-poor bills and the like because people aren't there for politics but out of duty. The Tories were even flying lords they liked to vote on it.
And then, of course, with Junique, we've got our What's Up Now on Wednesday. That's 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I've got all kinds of shows going on, putting together and working on a show called Cross Check Your Candidate, where we will be having a host and we'll be asking questions and we'll be having candidates online. And we're looking for the real people, not the rhinos, not, the real people who want to do.
She's looking for fascists.
Do the will of the people. Not
by the people, she means her personal, very, very, very weird beliefs.
These cronies like Bob Ferguson, Washington State fake governor position dissolved in it was just dissolved in 2021 for malfeasance. Yes.
What is she talking about?
Malfeasance, and according to the Washington State Constitution, his position was dissolved back then.
What is she talking about? Was this one of those instances where Republicans tried to take power away from a democratically elected governor who happens to not be of the same party as them? Because I know that happened a while ago.
But the criminals that be, all the puppets in the county that serve the state of Washington, which is a corporation, not even a real living, breathing being. But all these people make a lot of credit and money in the background while we, the people, are not getting justice for so much crime going on. And we're finding out
so much, all of it, all the crime
in our counties, that we literally have criminal mafioso syndicates.
Reminder that she is a huge Trump supporter. Insert laugh track here.
Going on in the background. There's trafficking, child trafficking. There's all kinds of sexcapades, judges, I don't know, looking for victims to have their wives, so their wives can have play toys. That's how disgusting.
What is she talking about?
It really gets. So this is, you know, a time for exposure, a time now for we, the people, to start standing in the truth, because the truth is, in fact, sovereign. The truth matters, but it doesn't matter to these people in court. And today, I'm going to be talking about, let me bring up my little caption here, allodial title and land patents.
Wait, why is she trying to push allodial titles? She literally lost her house after trying to do the allodial title thing, so obviously it doesn't work.
Versus,
I know the whole, like, definition of insanity thing is, like, just, like, a random quote, and it's not, like, literally true, but, like, you already tried this, and it failed. Why are you literally acting as though nothing... What?
Fake. Why do they call real estate real?
Because it's real property. Real property means, like, land. Stuff that's, like, not movable. That's real property is what that's called in the law. It's like my phone is personal property. It's like an object I can own and take around. You know what I mean? Real property is like land or a building that's like on a specific property. That's why. I assume she has a bullshit fake answer.
Well, that's because we live in an inverted world. It's Alice in Wonderland. What's up is down. What's left is right. Nothing is as it seems. And if it's the reason they're calling it real is because it is not real. Okay. And
what a crazy life. You just think everything's the opposite of what it is.
Now, who owns our land?
I mean, that's a philosophical discussion of ownership, but in real legal terms, it kind of depends. So, like, a lot of land is owned by the federal government, but people do own, you know, real property. Now, many places, I think even most places in the United States, you have to pay property taxes, which some people would argue means you don't really own that property because you got to pay the government. I would disagree about that, but I assume that's where she's going with this.
So, you know, we look in the system, and there's going to be a lot of people maybe who don't even really know about the allodial title and the land patents.
Biz says, "Oi, Hannah, just wanted to say I stumbled across your channel when you made me laugh out loud with your Dearth Jesse Lee Peterson review on the 28th of May 2024, 1 year of laughs. Thank you. Glad that you found me."
And what that even means. So let me try and just give you just kind of a briefer on what it means.
Amazing. Is Jesse Lee Peterson still around? Because that's a one-note internet personality that somehow ringed every ounce of, like, value out of that.
Means to have a land patent and a allodial title. And as you saw, Jordan Maxwell in the beginning of this, I rolled that film, you know, he talked about allodial title. And it means that even God cannot touch it.
That feels a little sacrilegious. Freyline says, "But you see, this failed not because she's wrong, but because the system is corrupt. So if we just stick up for ourselves, we can fix the system and make it work."
That there is no one superior over you owning that land. No one. No one can kick you off.
Mossloth says, "That's the thing. Kat doesn't think she lost because she was wrong. She's the underdog and always correct." Yeah, the prototypical Trump voter.
For any reason. And I'm going to be showing you some information that came across my email. It came from one of my the people that comes to my Wednesday show meeting. Sorry, I'm like stuttering in my words here. It comes to my Wednesday weekly meeting. His name's Vic, and he sent me this information on the land patents and allodial title. And as many of you know, I went through the land patent and allodial title process.
To be clear, land patents and allodial titles are not a thing in the United States. Neither of those has any legal weight. They're not going to do anything. It's nonsense.
the Spinda homes.
There are some countries where allodial titles are a real thing. The United States is not one of them. At least, I don't know if there's any individual states, but certainly not the country as a whole. I don't think it is a thing anywhere but in the States, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Instead in Kennewick, Washington. But unfortunately, regardless
Because, like, we have eminent domain and stuff. I don't know if...
of what's true or the truth, even if there's fraud going on at the banks, where the banks provide absolutely nothing, and they have these...
They provided the money that bought the house that you were living in. Once again, I don't get how she doesn't understand this. What do you mean they provided nothing? You were living in a house. Where did you think the ability for you to live in the house came from? The bank paying the money for the house that you then owe them.
Equitable titles, or these sheriff deeds that don't meet up to a land patent. And if you start digging into the history of land patents, then you start to see that we have really been wamboozled in the system, because now it's been going on. I mean, in my particular situation, Benton County, the county of Benton, which is the corporation name, started in 1905. That is the year that the bank account opened. That was the year that the corporation was formed for Benton County. And a lot of the people, if you look back in the history for my county, are still here today. A lot of them came from out of the area. They were kind of inserted here. And now we still have some of those people in our sheriff department, in our counties.
I gotta go back. I feel like she's dog whistling, but like it's vague enough that I need to re-listen to that to catch it all.
In the system, because now it's been going on. I mean, in my particular situation, Benton County, the county of Benton, which is the corporation name, started in 1905. That is the year that the bank account opened. That was the year that the corporation was formed for Benton County.
It's when the city was incorporated, but that's not the same thing as it being a private for-profit corporation.
And a lot of the people, if you look back in the history...
Like, I think she legit hears about cities and towns being incorporated, and she thinks, oh, like McDonald's is a corporation. No.
For my county are still here today. A lot of them came from out of the area, Benton County. And a lot of the people, if you look back in the history for my county, are still here today. A lot of them came from out of the area. They were kind of inserted here.
Okay, what do you mean inserted here? People move, cities grow over time. Do you think it's illegal for people to move to a new city and then be part of the population and potentially join the police force? What? Is this just a dog whistle for black people? Like, it's a little vague. Is she just mad that it's not the same, like, 10 families that founded the city? Or is this a race thing? She's a Trump supporter, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's a race thing, but she's trying to be vague about it.
And now we still have some of those people in our sheriff department, in our counties, offices. We've got brothers and sisters and dads and moms and aunts and uncles. And
reminder that she starts all her videos of montages of people being murdered and hung at the gallows with the song Let the Good Times Roll playing. So she's one of those people. She actively just wants to, like, murder all of the people that disagree with her politically. So again, prototypical Trump supporter. I'm sorry, I know these are hack jokes, but come on.
Nephews and nieces. And when you go into the county there, it's pretty low frequency. It's very...
Hanged is the proper term. Maybe they were hung too, you don't know.
Very low vibe. It's all 5G. It's all tile. It's all concrete. Everyone's angry. Nobody wants to be there. And they're dealing with all of these records, all of these contracts, all of these signatures, all of these lawsuits and court orders. Every one of them has a signature. And every time one of those signatures happens, these people make money in the background. They make money in the background off of us. So we are in fact being trafficked. So when the you know, when the jails are empty or they've got some extra cells that they need to fill up, they'll turn on their...
I think there are very few places in the country where jails are ever empty, and I know she's saying jail and not prison, and yeah, any medium to large size city is gonna at least have some people in the drunk tank.
Their little AI program, the police, and they'll start looking for people to go hunt down on their proactive enforcement, which is really like hunting someone down like an animal, where no crime has been committed, no law has been broken. Somebody could be just standing by the 7-Eleven having a Slurpee, and the cops can run up on you and say, "You've got a warrant for your arrest," and grab you.
No, what? No, not unless you have a warrant. Like, it's possible. Like, police make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but like, what an out there scenario. Like, what are you talking about? You think police make up warrants on random people all the time? I don't even like the police, and I think that's a pretty fucking absurd statement. Not saying it's never happened, but to act as though that's like the operating procedure of the cops is crazy. Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, the logging companies gave people a lot of things to get them to move to Washington at the time, and yes, they stayed because they liked it. Yeah, that makes sense. Similar stuff happened in Michigan. We were a big logging state at one point too, and then we overlogged. And then we switched to cars, and then that industry kind of got destroyed. And now we're in a state with a lot of medical services, and I'm sure that'll last forever.
And take you and put you in their car and take you to jail. All of that is because it's not just for the $450 a night that they make on the credit side of that. That's not where the real money is. The real money is where...
Oh no, we'll never find out where the real money is. They shut...
They dip into our trusts.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, she's talking about the SESDK trust thing. As I've talked about, sovereign citizens, at least many of them, have been convinced by grifters or other sovereign citizens that we all secretly have a trust account that holds millions of dollars in it that's really secretly yours, but the government has it, and it's a secret, and you can't have it unless you learn your rights. That's not how anything works. No, you do not have a SESDK trust, cat. Not a thing. I don't know who told you it was a thing, but it's not. They were wrong or lying to you.
They make security trusts for themselves, ones that don't run through the expenses of the court, and they're stealing from us. So we have 1 million homes a year being foreclosed on, or 1 million people a year kicked out into the streets based on foreclosures annually, when the banks provide nothing. So the
banks do not provide nothing. I agree that the commoditization of housing is a pretty fucked up thing, and like it's a problem that needs to be solved, but that doesn't change the fact that the banks did provide money. They provided the loan, and then you're paying them back. That's the whole point. You don't have a SESDK account. It's not a thing. They did not pull money from there, because it's not real. They loaned, they used their money to buy the house outright, and then you owe them that money plus interest, period.
They created this whole system with parcel numbers. So when they started the corporation in the county, and you know, I know a lot of you may have already know this information, but there's some people who don't know this information at all. So back then, when they created the county, then they started to create these other agencies and offices. And one of those offices was called the Assessor's Office. Here it would be the Benton County Assessor's Office. And that is where they hold the deed of trust and the property information for every single parcel number in Benton.
I know, Carpcosian. Have you considered that's not what she wants to believe? Yeah, when you're this deep into conspiracy, a lot of it's because it's what you want the world to be like to some extent. And I know that sounds weird because she seems not happy about it, but bear in mind, the fact that she thinks this is how the world works allows her to play the hero. She's not some crazy loser on the internet who lost her house and car because she bought a bunch of conspiracy theories. She's an underdog freedom fighter who knows the truth. She's a chosen one who surely will convince the world one day and be lauded for her efforts. Applauded for her efforts, rather. I was gonna say I don't get it, but I do get it. It's just sad. It's just very sad.
County. Now, where do these parcel numbers come from?
No,
And how is it?
She left her old house. She got evicted. She's, I think, living with her boyfriend.
That every sale has to go through these recorders' offices, and they have to go through title companies. And they
Sorry, I was gonna look something up and I forgot. I totally blanked after reading that comment. What was I gonna look up?
So those are the gatekeepers of the system. Everything has to flow through those offices. And for those of us who know the truth and know that this is a big fictional scheme against we the people, we know that there was actually a process for us to go through where we could own our own land and we could live on it. And as long as we lived on it and worked on it, and I talked about that during the Homestead Act, I think it was 1862 or 64. And we were supposed to be given 160 acres of land apiece, but that didn't happen.
Not in perpetuity!
So, I want to show you this, now this attachment.
I bet you if you bring up 40 acres and a mule, her head would explode, though. Just saying. I'm betting she's a hypocrite.
That I was talking about. But before I do, I just want to read this real quickly. Who owns the land? So you have if you have a mortgage, or if you have a home, or maybe you have it paid off, who actually owns the land? While it is generally believed in America today that the purpose of the American Revolution was to resist taxation without...
I mean, that's a simplified version of the story. There's a lot going on there, but broad strokes, okay.
Representation, the primary reason for the revolution was to deliver America's land titles out of the hands of Great Britain. And
No, they wanted independence from Britain for a variety of reasons, including, but not limited to, taxation, but also, like, they didn't want to pay back the money that had been spent in the French and Indian Wars, so they were like, fuck you, Britain, for taxing us, and the Crown was like, we had to fight the French and Indian Wars for you, dickbag, what are you talking about? You gotta pay for it. And America was like, hey, eat my ass, what if we fucking threw your tea in the water? And they were like, oh, Boston Massacre, bitch. And then a lot of other stuff happened, and the 3/5 compromise happened, and then a lot of American history happened, and here we are. All right, I think that sums it up.
Return them to the people. It was assumed by many before the revolution that England rightfully owned America. It was because of this.
I mean, we were a colony of the Great Britain, as was a lot of the world at the time. Viz with a $5 tip says, 1 year since your Flat Earth Dave and Jesse Lee Peterson review, a year of lols. Thanks. Of course. I know you said that earlier. Thanks for the tip, though.
Assumption that she gave grants of land to supportive colonists and then taxed the colonists as subjects. But the patriots of that day insisted that the King of England...
The mythology surrounding the American Revolution kind of makes me laugh a little bit. This is the kind of thing that's, like, far enough back in history that I don't really have, like, a ton of moral feelings about it. You know what I mean? It would be like asking me to be upset about, like, Roman slavery, which, like, yeah, it's bad, but, like, I don't get viscerally upset about it because it's, like, so long ago. Like, the idea that, like, certain Americans genuinely get emotional about the American Revolution cracks me the fuck up. Like, oh my god, read a book, you asshole.
Did not own the land.
Get some fucking perspective is all I'm saying. History is not this black and white thing. The founding fathers were not being like, so selfless by trying to separate from England. Like, come on, man. They had their own reasons and incentives. Come on.
So it was not his to grant. After the revolution, the land became the property of each state's people, with the authority in the people.
Who did the founding fathers consider people again? Wait a second. Not most people? Just landowning Protestant white men? Oh, bummer.
To parcel out the land to claimants in a fair and equitable manner. If some land remained unoccupied, Jefferson said that anyone occupying
but they can't read. Start with the hungry caterpillar. Not even picky.
It had possession. The right of ownership. Land title was then to be held by way of a allodial title. That simply meant that there was no superior to the landowner. He was the superior, the sovereign on his land. To encourage railroad growth and to provide transportation for over 3 million new settlers, and think about all these settlers that were coming over at the time, that had immigrated from the east into a wilderness devoid of roads, the government gave the first railroad land grant, which was 2,595,000 acres of federal land. Sorry, I'm making some sounds here. 6 unpreempted land for every mile of track built, to be issued to fund the building of the...
Amber says, from a class perspective, most of the founders had more in common with their gentry cousins than the average American. That's why they wanted representation. They wanted to be seen as equals among England's wealthy and powerful. Boy, it sure is a good thing that rich people and oligarchs all around the world haven't decided that they should all just team up and fight the poor. Because that would be bad.
The Illinois with a branch to Chicago.
Why is my main joke just saying sad things that are true? That's not a joke. That's just a maladaptive coping mechanism. Did it make you laugh, though? That's probably fine.
Chicago. The contract said that it should be completed in 6 years and that 7% of the company's gross should be paid to the state in perpetuity. Also, Uncle Sam was permitted to set his own charge for carrying troops, freight, and mail, and eventually settled on 50% for the first 2 and 80% for the mail. The Illinois Central, then the longest line in the world.
That part did. See, that's what you do. That's what you do. You tell a hacky joke that gets the lowest common denominator, and then you make fun of the joke you just told, so people who want to feel superior for their comedy taste will laugh. And then you come in with the third, and then you make fun of those people, and then you alienate everyone and have no audience. Secret of my success, baby.
Was completed 3 days before the deadline set in 1856. Now, this is what I thought was interesting. One of the earliest laws for granting patents was passed by an act of Congress on April 24, 1820. The law in 1820 prohibited the borrowing or use of credit for the purchase of government.
Hannah, your DSM joke was so good. You ever tell a joke so bad, someone just says the joke you told an hour ago was good? Thank you.
Government land. Now think of that for a second. The law in 1820 prohibited the borrowing of use of credit for the purchase of, and this was of the government land. In the debates in Congress prior to the passage of this act, Senator King of New York said the act is calculated to plant in the new country a population of independent, unembarrassed freeholders. It will put it in the power of every man to purchase a freehold, the price of which can be cleared in 3 years. didn't say 30 years, right? 3 years.
Does she genuinely not like do? It seems like a lot of people don't understand that just because something may have been something a long time ago doesn't mean the same thing is now. Like, they were literally trying to incentivize people spreading out and taking land, and the other side of that is the risk you were taking on by pushing into territories that were already, like, where people lived, indigenous people. So you would take on risk of, like, conflict, or the risk of, you know, building a homestead in the middle of nowhere with very little support. It's a give and take. They weren't giving people land, like, to be nice. They were doing it to try and expand their own powers by extending the reach of civilization further and further into the continent. Does she not understand that? Like, the government wasn't doing it to be nice, or because they thought it's the right thing to do. Like, there was a purpose, a material purpose. Just crazy that people don't think about why things are.
It will cut up speculation.
Sorry, had to get a cat laugh in there.
And monopoly. It will prevent the accumulation of an alarming debt with which experience proves never could or would be paid. And that's when, in 1862, the Homestead Act in Section 4, and I'm going to be showing you some information on the...
I'm going to be done soon, by the way. I'm pretty tired. Just letting everyone know. I'm already over 3 hours, and we're not going to make it through this whole cat video, so I'm just looking for a place that's a natural endpoint at this point. Just so everyone knows we're kind of starting to wrap up.
Thumbnail of my show, I had the front page of what I'm reading from, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. I just wanted to go over what exactly a land patent is. But it all started back then with the Homestead Act. So when taxation of real property began and the people did not...
Stone Corbell with 500 bits says long day bits. Thank you, I appreciate it.
...object, they voluntarily accepted the premise that government was the superior and the...
Oh, it's okay, Phoenix. I'm good. I have tomorrow off, so...
landowner, a mere...
Maybe we'll do a long stream tomorrow since I don't work.
...serf in a feudal relationship to his master. And the whole process helped to contribute to an ever-increasing...
Did I get your Discord message? I did. I just haven't responded to it. I got it while I was at work. I'll respond at some point. Probably tomorrow, because I'm tired.
...control by lawless government. This lawless government has been preparing America for the time when the land will be confiscated to pay off the indebtedness to the Federal Reserve that is America on the verge of...
That doesn't even make sense. What are you talking about? How would that make any sense? Once again, I am pointing out to people and begging you to understand that the vast majority of American debt is owned by Americans through treasury bills and bonds. But it's like household debt. No, it isn't. Shut up. You don't understand macroeconomics. I'm not saying the deficit isn't a problem, but it's not the way you're describing it. Holy shit.
...of financial collapse. So this is the plan. This is a long-term plan. It's actually a 5-generation plan to take us into the New World Order. And a lot of that was shown and proven. There's Agenda 2030.
A lot of that was shown and proven. Trust her. She's reliable. Unless she owes you money.
Agenda 21. Of course, Klaus Schwab with the World Economic Forum talks about how we will own...
He's not even the head of the Economic Forum anymore. You people are obsessed. Just kiss him already.
...own nothing, and we will be happy. Because they are squeezing every penny and dime out of people, leaving them with not a lot of money left over at the end of, after they get paid.
And that's why she's a Republican. Makes total sense.
And there's not much left over. And this is happening in paramount amounts throughout the country.
In paramount amounts? What's the editor in your head doing? Is she asleep?
We've got elderly. We've got people who are sick. We've got...
Oh man, if only we had social programs like Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare in order to help people. Oh wait, the person that you love and think should be king of America is helping cut those things so fewer people have the services they need in order to live? Wow, it's almost like you're a fucking idiot that fell for fascism. Crazy.
Got children, grandparents. We've got families being kicked out into the street. We have the right to claim our land under a lodial title. This is something that was put together way before the dirty banksters started setting up.
The dirty banksters. That felt like banksters with a hard J. You know what I mean? That's...
all of their, shenanigans with this system that provides no money. It's not backed by anything. The paper that it's printed on, that's all it's really worth, yet we accept it.
Why does this keep cutting to black? What are you doing, Kat?
Our faith and trust in our government, and that it will be backed by real money. That's where we have lost it. And
real money is only when backed by shiny. Shiny good. Me like shiny. Why money no shiny? Why money no shiny? That hurt.
And until we learn to stand in the truth, until we start beginning to look at the intricacies of what they have done to us in the background, then we are going to slowly move into full-on tyranny. And I don't want my grandchildren running around starving in the streets. I don't know about you, but that ain't happening. And I do...
Oh, that really hurt my wrists. Holy shit. I hate being over 30. Everything hurts all the time when you can't do anything without hurting yourself. I used to do so many bits. I could slap stick with the best of them. Now you slap the stick and it just breaks in half.
Know that there is a military operation going on in the background, and it's not going as fast as people would like, but we the people need to start making...
Bravo needs bacon with $1 tip says it's not even a dog whistle anymore, it's a bullhorn.
Some waves, and a lot of...
Just wait until your 40s. Nah.
Actually are in every county throughout this country. People are beginning to stand up to challenge the banks, to challenge the courts, to challenge the assessor's office. They don't have any jurisdiction or right to be masters over us. And
okay, they do have jurisdiction though, because, law.
Once you realize that, I would suggest if you could go to onenewearth.org, and there's a Freedom Warrior tab that you can click on. And there I've got, I'm just going to go and show it to you really quick for those who may have not seen this. But there is, let me find it real quick. Oh,
no!
Let's see.
I'm doing the old lady thing where I also have glasses that are big. Oh, fuck. Alright, this is probably a good time to call it a night. Thanks everyone for dealing with my nonsense, especially here at the end. I will be back tomorrow, like I said. I'll be doing a stream. We'll probably do a long stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but whatever it is, we'll be over 3 hours. So, thanks everyone again for hanging out. Really appreciate you. Let's see who we're gonna raid.
I will never tell you.
Please have a good sleep. I'm not going to sleep yet. I gotta eat dinner, and I gotta hang out at least for 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. I'm not going to bed right now. But I won't be in front of a camera, so that's good. Alright, have a good night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. And don't forget, the patron-only live show is the next Sunday? And YouTube members. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. Stay cool. And other things you would say at the end of a video when your brain would work. Adios. Sayonara. Those are the 2 words for goodbye I know in different languages. Vamp, 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 vamp. Or I could push this button. But then you'd all leave me. Alright, have a good night, everyone. Bye.